Did you know that dancing can do wonders for your health? It's been proven to reduce stress, strengthen your heart and lungs, and actually improve bone density. Tests show it can even improve brain activity. At Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, we give you even more to dance about. More choices, more experience, more doctors. So if you know what's good for you, keep dancing. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. More to feel good about.
Too much to do and too little time? Now you can bank when it's convenient for you. With free online banking and free mobile banking from First Mariner. Check your balance, deposit checks, pay bills with online bill pay, and pay people with Pop Money. And manage all of your finances with Mariner 360. You'll save time and money because at First Mariner, online banking and mobile banking are free. It's like adding a 25th hour to your day. Courtesy of First Mariner, Baltimore's community bank.
Every day, all across Maryland, we help employers keep workers safe from accidents and injuries. We're Chesapeake Employers Insurance Company, formerly IWIF. At Chesapeake Employers, workers' compensation insurance and workplace safety have been our mission and passion for nearly 100 years, and will be for 100 more. We help protect Maryland workers because
at the end of every workday, someone's waiting for your safe return.
Connect with your local agent or visit us online.
Baseball and my family seem to go hand in hand, seem natural. Seems to be built into everything I do. I'm hardwired into MedStar Sports Medicine the same way. I pick up the phone, I call them, I go. They're the sports medicine experts. I trust them.
To the championship game. We would now like to celebrate a number of young people who have achieved great success in their own respective endeavors as they take the field for our championship version of the Parade of Champions. Let's hear it for Parkville Rec Soccer, everybody. Make some noise. How about it for Perry Hall White Marsh Soccer, everybody? Some of them styling, sporting their shades. Perry Hall White Marsh Shockwave. Wave it to the camera. Let's hear it for FC USA. Next up, MUFC. Once again, make some noise for the entire Parade of Champions. Everybody on the field right now. How about Bill West and the Purple Pride Show, sporting the luck of the Irish? We want to thank Metro PCS, Pizza Bowlies, Sports Authority, and Factory Direct Uniforms, who are all proud sponsors of our Parade of Champions.
And welcome into the MISL Championship Game 2 tonight here at the Baltimore Arena. Gary Stein along with Andrew Primrose, your Blast broadcasters tonight. And it is the Blast going after their 7th MISL Championship in the last 12 years, taking on the Missouri Comets. And Andrew, right now, Missouri leading the series 1-0. Really a textbook performance for the Comets the other night as they beat the Blast 15-8. And we mention all the time the Blast championship pedigree, but the Comets have a pedigree of their own as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You get lost a little bit in Baltimore and looking at the Baltimore championships, but this Missouri-Kansas City franchise has been around for quite a long time. They played as the Kansas City Comets from 79 to 91. Didn't win any championships during that time. Came back as the Kansas City Attack, and as you see them coming onto the field there, they were in 3 championships as that franchise, winning 2, 92 and 93, and in 96, 97, beating Cleveland in both of those, and then, of course, losing in 95, 96. So going for their 3rd championship as a franchise, even if not under the same name, representing the city of Kansas City in the state of Missouri.
Everybody who follows indoor soccer knows the Missouri Comets have the best attack in the league. They led the league in points. But we were going through some numbers, and I really feel strongly that their defensive performance in the last part of the regular season and on to the playoffs has been the biggest difference for Missouri.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to look at the unexpected and look at the defense. You knew the offense was going to show up in the playoffs. It's the best offense in the MISL. But you look at the first game, they gave up 6 points to Milwaukee. Then in the second game, they gave up 12. And then come back in the mini game, only giving up 2 points. And then, of course, against the Blast, 6 points. That's a 14.6 points against in the playoffs, or 4, and then only 8 against. That's an incredible average. You're going to win a lot of games only giving up 8 points.
The big news for the Blast in Game 1 was William Vanzella didn't make the trip to Missouri. Troy Hernandez got the start. Missouri hit 5 3-point field goals in that game to account for all their points. That is an MISL game record, team record, and of course Fahim Asadpour with 3 with an individual record as well.
Yeah, and you know, you can't take anything away from Missouri's effort in that game. They played a fantastic game. They played very well, and they attacked the strengths there. You wonder, with Troy Hernandez coming in, only getting a couple starts during the season, and all of them against Pennsylvania, whether he was ready to be thrust into a championship performance. A guy that's relatively new to indoor soccer, only his 2nd year in the league, and you wonder whether or not he was fully ready to go in there. You also saw that most of the shots beat him high. He struggled with the high shots there. You got to look at how well he was adjusting to that net on the road in a championship game against a good offense. Missouri found a weakness. They attacked it. The bottom line is tonight you have William Vanzella, who was the goalkeeper of the year, modern record for points against in a season. He's going to be the guy tonight. And can Missouri do the exact same thing again? If they can, the Blast are in trouble. The Blast are in a lot of trouble if they can do that against Vanzella as well.
Vanzella also 5-0 in his playoff career in 2 years in the MISL. He's 7-1 all-time against the Missouri Comets. Speaking of the Comets, let's talk about this. Injuries over the course of the year. I mean, usually when you lose your leading scorer, a guy like Byron Alvarez to injury, you lose probably one of your best defenders in Cody Andrews to injury. That could spell doom for a team, but not the Comets, as they've been very resilient this year.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Ryan Young, never even suited up for him. Guy came on the broadcast for Game 1, not in there. You have Alex Mason, who's not going to play today as well. They've definitely been hit by the injury bug. Then suspensions. You're going to add in their 3rd leading point scorer tonight. Not going to be suiting up for Game 2 in Sosa. So definitely you see the Missouri Comet team, and you have to respect what they've been able to accomplish in light of those injuries.
And what you're talking about, Andrew, the suspensions towards the end of the first half of that Game 1 of Friday night in Missouri, it was John Sosa 46 points in the regular season for them, and Adriano DeSantos for the Blast. They got into a skirmish which actually spilled out away from the floor and on into the building. Both players were shown the red cards, neither one available for Game 2 tonight. They will be, if there is a Game 3, they will be available for that tonight.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a WWE action as they spilled into the backstage. You know, there's no rules match there as that happened. I know for both teams, not really the style that they want to see. You know, I think that's something that we'll see a tightly called game early on here tonight, and we'll see that's not acceptable. I would imagine that when both players come back in Game 3, if the Blast are lucky enough to force a Game 3, we won't see a continuation of that. I think it's something that's done.
And that's the situation here tonight. The Comets won Game 1, 15-8 over the Blast in Missouri. On Friday night, coming up Game 2. If the Comets win Game 2, the series is over. The 2014 champions are the Missouri Comets. If the Blast win Game 2, then there will be a mini Game 3, 15 minutes after Game 2. The Comets are already out on the field. Now time here at the Baltimore Arena for our Blast introductions.
Here comes the
Blast fans, bring your
y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it like that.
Starting in goal this evening, number 0, William Vancella. Forward, number 4, Diego Zuniga. Number 7, Levi Wapur. Forward, number 8, Lucas Roque. Defender, number 9, Healy. Starting at forward, number 11, Tony Donatelli. Midfielder, number 13, Lucio Gonzaga. Defender, number 14, Steven Daru. Starting at forward, number 15, Adato Nato. Starting at midfield this evening, number 16, Max Ferdinand. Midfielder, number 19, Marco Maggione. Defender, number 20, Mark Diesel. Starting on defense this evening, number 21, J.T. Moore. Goalkeeper, number 22, Troy Hernandez. And starting on defense, and your Blast captain, number 24, Mike Kingland. And now your Blast coaches, assistant coach David Bastor. And the head coach of your Baltimore Blast, Danny Kelly. There they are, Blast fans, your defending MISL champion, Baltimore Blast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we direct your attention to the midfield area. We ask you to please rise and remove your hats for the singing of God Bless America by tonight's special guest. Please welcome the Chapel Hill Elementary School. Chapel Hill Elementary School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please remain standing as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem by tonight's special guest, the Mount Washington School.
Gary Stein, Andrew Primrose back with you at the Baltimore Arena, downtown Baltimore. They had a St. Patrick's Day parade here in downtown. Happy St. Patty's Day tomorrow officially to everybody. Andrew, you too as well.
Thank you.
Here we go, game 2.
Yeah,
what do you look
absolutely.
for here, Missouri and the Blast?
Well, first of all, to start out, we should let our listeners know they did push back the start time a little bit here because of that St. Patrick's Day parade. There was a race in downtown. There were traffic issues going on. So as we look at the starting lineups, Vanzella, Donatelli, Neto, Ferdinand, Noon, and Lookingland, the regular lineup for the Blast, the preferred lineup that you'll see trotted out most of the time. But as we're saying, the lineup or the start time is pushed back to 5:15. You're starting to notice it is a little bit after 5:05 now. So with that, the crowd a little bit late arriving here and the traffic a little bad. So when you look at this Blast lineup, you look at JT Noon and Mike Lookingland on the back line there. The Blast team was built around defense. Set a modern record for points allowed, 101 points in the regular season. They gave up there. William Vanzella back in goal there. And we'll see in the points, the keys to the game brought to us by Webb Mason. Gibson and Asadpour. You got to defend the best players on the opposing team. Get players in the box on the offensive end. We have to score points. We have to break this Missouri defensive stranglehold and execute on free kicks and power plays. That's just a staple of any game. And the Blast have done that very well up until the season. The playoffs, they've struggled on that a little bit.
Well, defending Asadpour and Gibson is easier said than done. Here's a couple numbers on those guys. Asadpour in his last 30 regular season games over the last 2 seasons, 30 goals, 32 assists, 96 points for Asadpour, averaging 3.2 points per game in his last 30. Even more for Gibson in his last 29 regular season games, 9 from a year ago and the last 20 this year, 126 points, 4.3. So they average together on a per-game basis, basically over the last 30, 7.5 per game. So even without Alvarez, those guys definitely need to be defended.
So take 7.5 points from just that, too, and combine that with the defense that has been giving up only 8 points in the playoffs, and now you're starting to understand why the Blast are facing an elimination game here at home.
William Vanzella in goal tonight for the Blast. Did not make the trip to the Independence Event Center on Friday night. Vanzella in his career 5-0 in the playoffs, 7-1 against Missouri, 855 points against average, and a very good 783 save percentage.
And we also didn't talk in the intro, we didn't talk about one other player from the Blast that did not make the trip out there. That's a crucial Blast player that will be playing tonight. That's Lucio Gonzaga, back in, had some leg issues with a small injury. He will be active tonight. He's down there on the bench. That's a big boost for this Blast team.
Danny Waltman, meanwhile, will get the nod for Missouri. Started all 20 games this year for Vlatko Andonovski and the Missouri Comets. Waltman 2-10 in his career against the Blast, 1-2 in the playoffs against Baltimore.
Danny Waltman is an emotional player. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the MISL when he's on his line, when he's back there and when he's engaged and he's into it. The problem with Danny Waltman is when he starts going up and bouncing around and getting up. And you can see right now on cue, well above the yellow line to start the ball here. Waltman is one of those guys that loves getting involved in the game. When he can stay focused on that and do that as needed, he's great. When he gets flustered and gets out of his element and tries to reach too far for that, he gets in trouble.
Pressure from the Blast right away. Donatelli and Neto forcing a turnover in the midfield. And there's a shot on goal saved by Waltman acrobatically. Neto will run it down in the corner. Missouri starts with Asadpour, Gibson, Perez, Harris, and Rodriguez. Again, Sosa for Missouri suspended for Game 2, red card in Game 1, not available. DeSantos suspended for Game 2, not available for the Blast. They will be available if a Game 3 is necessary here tonight. JT Noon, who had a hat trick for the Blast, with a touch on it, sends it back to the keeper, Vanzella, his first touch tonight. Here's Lucio for his first touch tonight. And the play is fast and furious as right off the bat here, less than a minute into the game.
Now you see Neto pick up the first foul there, and we are expecting to see quick whistles there on plays like that. Neto ran up the back and earned a foul. We have another whistle off the ball now. We're going to have...
Let's count the players on the field.
It's still 5 on.
Yeah, everybody's got 5, so that's okay. A warning of some sort. You see Asadpour coming with the ball over to the scorer's table here. Asadpour set an MISL individual game record with 3 3-pointers in that game off of Troy Hernandez Friday night in Missouri. Asadpour, a tremendous year, 57 points in 16 games.
It was a substitution warning on Missouri there, as I guess they were a little slow on getting that off there, but within the rules for not getting the penalty but getting the warning there is that they were coming across there close. So for Missouri, a restart in their own half.
Asadpour will approach. He's got Neto with him. Neto shut out in the game against Missouri. Neto was the active leading scorer for the Blast in terms of playoffs, 46 points in 26 games. Noon will run it down in the corner. Double team. Blast trying to get out of there. And they do. Here's some real estate for Tony Donatelli. Bloops one up ahead, intended for Roque, and bounces inside the box. No foul call either way as Wildman disrupts Noon. Referee says play on, and the ball is at the yellow line.
Wow, I think there was advantage was called, but you absolutely right.
Look at this, Mangione puts it into the back of the net. Top shuffle with the keeper's right shoulder. We're a minute 40 into the game, and the Blast have taken the lead.
Absolutely. As I was just getting ready to say, you have to call advantage there. You see the emotion on this Blast team as they're absolutely fired up coming off the bench. They felt like it was a clear foul there. Lucio Gonzaga went right after Asapool on that afterwards as Danny Wildman just absolutely tackled the Blast player in the box there. But either way, the Blast get the goal as Mangione evens it out there. And the Blast take a 2-0 lead as we see the Chesapeake Insurance and Employers Insurance. This ball bounces across and it's an absolute top shelf Blast.
Mangione now for the playoffs, his third goal in 6 career games. He's got 6 points. Mangione, of course, with the game winner against Syracuse in the game 3, the header. That's a great Blast goal for forever, really. One of the great blast goals ever. And he gets the goal here to start things off. So 2-0 the score, and the Blast now with the turnover in the midfield. Here's Max Ferdinand.
Levy far.
Healy runs it through the box. The pass intended for Levy on the far side. It's kicked away by the Missouri defense. Max Toulouse was in on that. And now it is going to be a legal procedure, and it gives the Blast the big break here. And I want to go back to your comment earlier about the start of this game being delayed, the start time. Look at the crowd now compared to what it was even 15 minutes ago. Great call by the Blast to let the crowd filter in because of the parade.
Absolutely.
All right, Looking Lane will be on it. It's a 3-man wall. Stefan St. Louis in the middle for Missouri. Off the wall, and it's blocked by Gibson over the boards. It'll be a kick in for the Blast.
Of course, the difference there, the intentional kick out of bounds versus the inadvertent, and that's why the ball's coming back here for the restart rather than the top of the arc.
Blast makes some changes here. Neto and Lucio on the floor along with Donatelli. He plays it back to Noon. Noon and Looking Lane on the back line. At the turn, here's Neto far side, with the Blast leading 2-0. And a goal from Mangione. Up top, Donatelli left. Oh! Redirected by Neto out in front, and that one just wide.
And that would have been a 3 as Neto got that in the air and would have deflected that right in there.
Another great chance for the Blast. Danny Waltman under siege in the Missouri goal. Here's Neto now near corner.
One thing to remember if you're the Blast, though, they did get off to a 4-0 start in game 1. And then watch Missouri come back there. So for the Blast, it's about sustaining this pace and this drive and putting the points on the board when they get the chances.
Brian Harris, their terrific defender on Neto, and now here's a foul on Neto. As coming over was Ivanovic. Free kick Missouri with 12:01 to play in the first.
And that's second foul on Neto here, relatively early on.
Here's Rodriguez now in the midfield for the Comets. Former MISL Rookie of the Year. Nice year, 47 points, 20 games in the regular season. Asadpour takes over with Donatelli. Here's a mistake in the midfield. Was intended for Rodriguez. Noon pushed down by Perez. Free kick Blast just outside the arc.
Looking Lane will preside over top. They're looking for the quick restart, but Missouri too smart for that as they'll wait to be pushed back into position. Donatelli on the far side there, kind of sneaking down. Noon as well.
Ball still in play on the glass. Roque going to try to make one. There we go, and it's over the boards. Wow. Deflected up by Waltman into the second deck here at the arena. And let's see if this will be a corner. I don't think so. I don't think it landed inside the flag, so it'll be a kick in for the Blast.
We don't have any fans up there.
We got
a second ball coming in now.
Hey, you know what? If we put down the headsets and run over there real quick, we can get it.
Go ahead.
No, you. Here come the Blast now, Healy. Gives over to Ferdinand off the boards in the box, intended for Roque. Vanzella gets out of some close quarters there.
So we talked about the difference between Hernandez and Vanzella. We talked about some of the negatives, not playing as much. But Hernandez has a much better arm than Vanzella. And you saw that come into play with an assist, well, basically would have been a second assist for Troy Hernandez. What you just saw there from Vanzella is the skill he brings. He's very good with his feet, able to play the ball.
Looking Land takes a spill in the midfield. Foul called on Gibson. Free kick for the Blast. Intended for Diego Zuniga up ahead at the turn. He slips down. Gibson tried to hold it in for Missouri, but the ball is won by Lucio for the Blast. Mike Diesel now with a touch for Baltimore. Zuniga destroyed by Gibson. And the ball is still in the midfield, and now a foul called on Zuniga as Toulouse was trying to blow past. Quick restart for Brian Harris. That's up and over. And it'll be a goalkeeper distribution for Vanzella with 10-10 to go in the half. And the other ball comes back out on the floor down on this side.
2 balls on the field there. I hope somebody sees. There you go. So for the Blast, you've seen a lot of aggression. You've seen a couple fouls called early on that the fans don't agree with. And you've seen a 2-0 lead for the Blast. For Missouri, I think they have to feel pretty good about weathering this storm, only down 2-0, considering the amount of possession that the Blast have had up to this point.
Kicked away by Andre Braithwaite. Intended for Neto at the midfield.
Seeing the week going chest to chest with the official there. And Vanzella runs out to the yellow line. Wow.
Free kick Blast here in the midfield from Neto. In the corner intended for Neto. Missouri gets over there first. Robert Palmer.
A really good play by Palmer there to overplay his position, get in front, and then let it trickle back to Danny Waltman.
Harris will run onto it in the midfield for Missouri. 40 points in 20 games. Led the team with 5 3-pointers in the regular season. Here's Asadpour, who had 3 last game out in the playoffs. This one ripped, and that one is just wide. May have got a hand on it, was Vanzella.
Who was pretty far out of position there as he went out trying to play the ball with his feet and really left himself exposed there unnecessarily.
Asadpour to Harris, back post. Vanzella makes the save after the first one didn't go. Catch a break there as Gibson couldn't put the first one in. Now Lucio has it taken away. And Vanzella hugging the near post makes the play.
Did you see the Dikembe Mutombo afterwards? The little finger wag there on the stop there. I guess Vanzella, Brazilian player, very emotional guy, coming off the injury, feeling it early on with the Dikembe Mutombo.
Shot taken by Palmer. Roque going to try to get there before Asadpour does, and he does at the turn. Saves it for the Blast. Here's the Diesel now with a left footer. That one is ripped and right into the hands of Waltman. Rebound comes out towards midfield, held in by Looking Land. Blast definitely have the better of the play here early in the first period.
A great save by Waltman there, as that ball had a significant amount of spin on it there. As it came back around, it's a great job by Waltman to deflect that ball away.
Ferdinand working hard. Moved off the ball by Robert Palmer. Now Palmer coming towards midfield. Here's Roque on the receiving end. Harris coming over to cut him off at the turn, protecting his goalkeeper, and Waltman makes the play right in the corner. 2-0, the Blast lead it. 7:15 left in the first, game 2 of the 2014 MISL Championship. Looking Land kicks it away. Here's Roque now getting turned around in the midfield. Gibson with a good play. And Waltman rolls it out for Asadpour. St. Louis is picked up by Healy in the corner. Back towards midfield.
Miscommunication there in the midfield as the ball was supposed to go back to Waltman, but he was already retreating back, slipped back a little bit.
Nice ball by Harris into the corner, finding Stephon St. Louis. He's going to turn towards the goal. Blast come over for a double team. And now Rodriguez for Missouri will take over. 6 minutes left to go in the first. 2-0 the Blast.
Pace has settled down here as both teams trying to keep possession here. Not the end-to-end action we saw in the first 2 minutes or so. Waltman crosses half field.
There's Mangione on Asadpour. Mangione with the goal tonight. Here's Waltman all the way to the yellow line. Waltman off the boards. And he's got to get back quickly here. Talk about aggressive play from Danny Waltman. Again, taking a chance. 5 minutes, 28 seconds left to go in the first period. We saw Missouri take advantage of Marcel Feenstra in game one of their semifinal series.
That's a great point.
When Feenstra ventured out towards midfield. I think it was Leo Gibson.
It was.
That beat him.
Absolute bomb from way downtown, just over top there, as Feenstra was just caught in no man's land there.
Looking Land pokes it up ahead for Levi Wapu, the rookie out of UMBC. Asadpour right with Wapu. They take each other to the floor, and this was called on Levy.
So Asadpour rides Levy to the ground, and the call goes from the opposite side of the field against Levy, and Missouri gets possession and then turns it down the field. It's Waltman again over the yellow line.
Here's Gibson, picked up by Looking Land. Gibson, the league's leading scorer. In fact, Missouri had 5 of the top 20 in the league this year. Kicked away out of the box by Donatelli.
The thing you have to look about with Leo Gibson, though, is 76 points, but they came on 89 shots. He's a guy that's not afraid to pull the trigger on the shot there, and that's where you saw his points increase exponentially.
Picked off by the Blast, 3-on-2 if they hurry. In the box, off the man, and into the back of the net. Tiso scores off of Asadpour, and the Blast lead it 4-0.
Almost identical start to the last game. This is 4-0. The difference is you have a very energized Baltimore Arena behind the team now, as Mike Diesel and Adaldo Neto come down, had the 3-on-2 breakaway, pass back and forth between. And we'll see here as we come back to the replay. We'll see the ball just bounces right off an own goal. A beautiful pass, and the Blast are up 4-0.
We'll take a timeout here with the score. The Blast 4 and Missouri 0. Back after this. Back at you here from the Baltimore Arena. Blast again. This one just wide. Rebound just wide. First one by Lucio. Second one by Healy. Off the boards and in the box is Healy, but Waltman makes the play. As the Blast continue to pepper the Missouri goal here early.
That ball just hit the absolute inside of the post there. Blast very unlucky. It very easily could have been a 7-0 lead.
St. Louis wins the ball in the midfield from Healy. Pat Healy, former Rookie of the Year, 22 points this year in 20 games. Now Waltman being pressured by Roque. Delivers up ahead. Running onto it. Nice ball movement here by Missouri. But the one touch by Palmer in the corner, he couldn't get it on the first touch, and then it allowed the Blast defense to get over.
Yeah, it was an absolutely beautiful play by Rodriguez there. He just one touch passed that along there. That could have been a scoring chance for the Comets.
Nice two-man game here between Lucio and Healy. Lucio now carries into the midfield. Healy will come off. Looking Land comes on. Looks like Lucio will come off for the Blast as well.
Max Ferdinand will sneak on.
Here's a nice give and go. Back to Looking Land. Off the boards in the box. Two Blast players there. Donatelli had a foot on it but couldn't control, and Waltman comes away.
Just bad luck for Mike there as he centered two guys in the box, and it went right in between both of them. Zuniga was just not in the right position to be able to get that, and it's a bad break for the Blast.
Zuniga now defending in the back for Missouri with 2:25 left to go in the first. Blast have had the better of the play here and lead it 4-0. Here's Gibson on the receiving end from Waltman. Sends it over to Robert Palmer. Oh, that's Ramon Palmer. He's got it taken away. Here's Ferdinand gliding into the midfield for the Blast.
Great job by Missouri to get back there on the breakaway. They had three guys there to stop that. And that's really comes from the coaching. It comes from a focus and an emphasis on defense. And this is a very dangerous team if they're thinking that way. Because the offensive talent that they have, and then to bring in that defensive philosophy, that's why the Blast and the Wave have been dominant for so long, is that defensive philosophy with great offensive finishers. Missouri always struggled having the great offensive finishers, but never that team mentality of that defensive strong mindedness, and that's what you're seeing here from Missouri, and that's why this series is very much in doubt.
Well, we've definitely, doubt according to who? It's that's a Baltimore thing, that series is in doubt.
Oh, no, yeah, I just mean that the outcome is in doubt. It can go either way. Sometimes you come into a series and you've had the Blast or the Wave be an extremely strong favorite. I think coming into the series, it was a pick-em for, and I know the coaches and the Blast players agree.
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I think they all agreed that this was going to be a tough series. The Syracuse series was a tough series. You saw Syracuse give in to that philosophy and work on that.
Asadpour, good ball up ahead for Rodriguez. One-on-one with his defender, that's Diesel. Now the Blast come over with some help, Neto and Diesel. Less than a minute to go. That one over the boards, and it'll be off of Missouri, free kick Blast.
Free business phones, that's right, free business phones. Netacom provides business phones free with every phone line and internet plan. Call 888-NETACOM to sign up. CareFirst Blue Cross and Blue Shield is committed to the health of our community and especially the health of our children. That's why CareFirst Blue Cross and Blue Shield is proud to sponsor Saves for Kids with the Baltimore Blast. For every save made by a Blast goalie this season, CareFirst will donate $20 to Big Sisters, Big Brothers of the Chesapeake. The goal is to reach $20,000 by the end of the season. Thank you to Blue Cross Blue Shield for their Saves for Kid program.
Back to the live action here with Ferdinand. About 35 seconds left to go in the period. Noon in the box, intended for Roque. Moved off by Braithwaite.
That was called eventually. There you go.
Free kick Blast now, 22.5 seconds left. Max Ferdinand on the ball for the Blast. 24 career playoff points in 15 games. Gives it over to Looking Land. Lines it up, and Mangione kicks it over the glass. It'll be a goalkeeper distribution with 20 seconds to go.
And that's a lost opportunity for the Blast. Mangione had the line there, just got underneath and popped it up just a little bit. He had the drive. Waltman was in good position, but that would have been a tough save on the redirect that quickly to get back.
Rodriguez from Waltman here at the yellow line. Zuniga in pursuit. Rodriguez with 7 seconds to go. Zuniga will break that up. 2 seconds, 1 second. And that'll be the end of the first period here with the Blast getting out quickly. on a goal just 1:30 into the game by Mangione, and stretching it to 4-0 after one.
The Blast want to thank MedStar Sports Medicine, the official medical team of the Baltimore Blast. For an appointment with Team Dr. Richard Levine, call 888-44-SPORTS. That's MedStar Sports Medicine, 888-44-SPORTS. Blast fans, you're watching and having a great time tonight. Let your friends know by liking the Blast and checking in on Facebook. Like the Blast and then also like them on Facebook. It's 2 likes that you need to do there. First Mariner Bank, bank when it's convenient for you. Free online banking and free mobile banking for First Mariner. It's like adding a 25th hour to your day, courtesy of First Mariner Bank. At Bubblegum Shrimp Company, we're cooking up great food and great fun, just like Mama makes it. We've got something for everyone, from seafood to ribs, steaks, and more. You're sure to go home happy. Maryland Eye Care, covering all your eye care needs, from contact lenses to cataract surgery. We've got you in our sights. Blast Soccer brought to you by Metro PCS, with no annual contract and blazing fast 4G speed on a nationwide 4G network. Metro PCS is the wireless company that gives you everything you want, unlimited data, talk, and text for a low monthly wait. Chesapeake Employers Insurance Company helps keep workplaces safe, because at the end of every workday, someone's waiting for your safe return. Connect with your local agent or visit us online. Remember to build your body with brick. And you're at home with Hirschfeld, the official apartment communities of your Baltimore Blast. Find your new home today at HirschfeldHomes.com. Hunt Valley Motor Coach is your official transportation service of the Baltimore Blast. Please contact Hunt Valley Motor Coach for all your transportation needs at 1-800-924-1359 and ask for the Blast discount. Merritt Properties is a full-service real estate firm committed to celebrating homes for businesses since 1967. Contact Merritt Properties today at 410-298-2600 or visit them online at merrittproperties.com. And finally, remember to get your news, stats, scores, and more exclusively on MISL.com. We'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
Baltimore Arena, Blast out shooting the Comets 7-2 in the first quarter, outscoring the Comets 4-0, Andrew, in the first quarter.
Same start as last game, 4-0 for the Blast. The difference is, can the Blast maintain the intensity and the pressure? And you like to think that the home crowd is going to have some effort in that, and the decision to wait the start and let the crowd get in here is going to have some impact on the Blast maintaining that energy.
Seemed like the Blast were chasing Missouri all game one, and could never on the treadmill. They could just never catch up. At least right now, that's in the first quarter. It looks like just the opposite happening here at the arena.
You have to learn it too. Obviously, if you're Missouri, you don't give up the game at all.
Here with a good ball up ahead to Noah, who tried to squirt it past the keeper. Now a blue card is being shown.
And then they're going to get the foul on Healy. Okay, so what they call is continuation on the shot. Healy was fouled, so the Blast are going to have a restart outside the three-point line on the power play. And I guess Pat Healy was hit in the face as he comes off there, it looks like. And so the penalty is on the Comets. The Blast will go on the power play, and they're going to have a restart. So I guess they allowed the shot in the continuation and then pulled it back out.
Ronald Perez gets 2 minutes for pushing. Time to play last 33 seconds of the second quarter. So the Blast will be on the power play. The Blast have not scored on the power play in the postseason. They're 0 for 5 in the postseason. They were number 1 in the league during the regular season.
As we look here, there is a little line there for Looking Land to take this shot, but more than likely he's going to push right into Neto there in the corner.
Neto tries to loop it over the keeper. That one batted away by Waltman. And then Palmer gets a foot on it. Here's the target man. Oh, Neto almost had the little step there. Now into the corner, it's Donatelli trying to turn it back towards Looking Land. Good effort here by the Comets as Harris comes out, makes a nice play in the midfield, and now they'll have a shorthanded opportunity. Now they give it back, though, as Lucio now along the boards. Picked up by Robert Palmer. Then Zella quickly up ahead for Neto. 1:25 left on the power play here for the Blast, who already lead it 4-0. While the Blast haven't scored a power play goal in the postseason at 0-5, Missouri hasn't allowed a postseason power play goal at 4-4 on the penalty kill.
Danny Waltman's playing well in that defense philosophy. There's no doubt about it. And as you see, Missouri creates another turnover.
Palmer sends it back to Waltman towards midfield, held in by Lucio. Lucio trying to center it towards Neto, back post. Nice ball movement here by the Blast to Donatelli in the corner. Couldn't get the shot off, but nice idea. Now Lucio again with less than a minute. Right on goal, Waltman the save. Kicked away by Gibson, settled by Lucio.
Lucio has brought this into his repertoire, and I would say maybe the last 5 or 6 games I just started noticing. He's shooting a knuckle puck. He's shooting this little floater, and I don't know if it's coming from a toe ball or what it's doing, but it's got that wave on it. This is the second time it's crossed Waltman up there.
Another opportunity here for Lucio and the Blast with 25 seconds on the power play. Running onto it, looking land. Here's a nice cross. Oh, Neto may have mishit that one as he was lining that one up. Ball now towards midfield. Another opportunity by the boards for the Blast. Lucio now with 10 seconds to go on the power play. Blast maybe with one more chance before the teams are at even strength. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Teams are at even strength. Let's see how long it takes for Perez to get back into the play. Oh, and it's another own goal! They put it towards the net. Neto for the Blast. And this one, let's see, is a 3 or a 2? It is a 3.
Absolutely should be a 3 there. As you saw Neto come in, it won't go down as a power play goal. But as the Blast come back down there, Neto absolutely crushes this ball. And again, a second own goal tip here, as we'll see on our replay here in a second.
Time to go, 2:28.
7-0 lead regardless. Here's our Metro PCS replay. Lucio waiting. Neto's got some room there, as you see the coming in, and then Neto right there, right off the ball there. Is it Gibson? Was that Gibson it was off of? And Lucio, just the patience, waiting for the player to come over. Neto steps up, 2 or 3 steps outside the three-point line, and it's 7-0 Baltimore.
49th playoff point in 27 career games for Adalto Neto, and the reason why Waltman came out off his line on that one, you saw him right in the middle of the box, was because Donatelli had snuck in past the defense and was occupying the position right on the line, and Waltman thought, and I think clearly this is a good decision, I got to get to this before it comes here because Donatelli has just as much of a chance at this ball as I do.
Yeah, I think Neto was kind of looking at it as a pass/shot.
Waltman like a cat.
Just being Waltman there. It's Waltman being Waltman. Remember Manny being Manny? It's Waltman being Waltman there. He just there's some players that make it look easier, and he doesn't make it look difficult. He just makes it look acrobatic.
Hey, listen, I got a crazy cat at home, and Danny Waltman looked just like her a minute ago. Just jumping all over the place. 7-0 Blast lead it here, 11:20 left in the half.
No, but you're absolutely right. I think that was it was a dual-purpose shot. If it gets deflected, it goes in. It's a shot. If it gets through, then it's a beautiful assist as it crosses all the way across the boards.
Gibson trying to slip by the Diesel at the turn. Foul called on Baltimore. It'll be a free kick here for Missouri, who find themselves trailing by 7. There's Leo Gibson.
Missouri's going to call a timeout here as they're signaling. Palmer's called for it twice now. I don't know if they've seen. I guess the refs are a little more concerned with the Blast chirping there.
See what they call here if they do go with the timeout. This is a big play for them. I mean, they got a nice set piece here. See if they want to talk about it.
No?
They are going to call the timeout. We'll take 1-2 with the Blast leading Missouri 7-0 in the second. The arena, 11-10 left to go in the half. Blast getting a couple of own goals, courtesy of the Missouri Comets in this game. Mangione got his own goal at 1:30, and then Diesel off a defender at 10:45 of the first, and then Neto off a defender, Leo Gibson, at 2:28 of the second. And that's just a result of the Blast just pressuring, hitting the ball towards the goal. Something good's going to happen.
There's a lot of parallels you can draw between hockey and indoor soccer, and really, what do you see in hockey? You see the ball getting thrown in front of the net. Right there, you see just the ball in front of the net. Good things are going to happen.
Braithwaite off the boards, and now here's a whistle and a foul.
Vanzella's got to calm down a little bit here, as Gibson's just laughing. And Vanzella's upset because that's the third time he's gotten kicked now. Gibson, and typically you got to allow a little bit of that to happen if you're Vanzella. You got to recognize that that's there. But
now Gibson talking to Vanzella.
Vanzella's got to calm down a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you something. He does have to calm down a little bit, but Vanzella is the kind of guy that you don't want to rile up like that.
Right, no.
Let a sleeping dog lie. You don't want to do that to Vanzella. Here's a 3-line violation. Oh, no, the foul called on Missouri. That's instant offense for the Blast, as they'll get a free kick from just outside the yellow line.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And for Vanzella, he has to know that about himself. He has to know that Gibson's just needling him. They're doing it intentionally. And then you got to recognize that in this situation, in this game, if he were to get ejected from this game, he'd be done for the night. So the Blast would have to go with Hernandez for both games.
He's not going to get ejected.
I hope not.
He'll be fine. Here's Looking Land at the yellow line.
A lot of confidence there from.
Dumps it in. Nice save by Waltman, hugging the near post. Gibson ridden down. Nice by there on Healy. And it'll be a holding foul on Baltimore with 10:51 left in the half. It's Pat Healy, former Rookie of the Year back in 2009. Won his first championship with the Blast last year, looking for number 2 tonight. Looking Land towards the corner with a settle.
A handball called on Gibson there. Palmer's just giving it to Mark. Having a little discussion back and forth there. Not sure, I've never seen that with the referee.
Hey,
a blue card.
Let me tell you something. If there's anybody that's going to lose in this exchange, it's Gibson.
Yeah. And he just got sent off. So blue card and his face. Look at that. Wow.
Asadpour coming to talk it over.
All right. And so there we go.
That's Gibson's 4th foul of the half. So he's gone. Excessive fouling.
Okay, so that the blue card was not for the dissent. It was for the
dissent's
foul.
yellow.
Yeah.
So it's funny you make that comment about upsetting Vanzella. It's Gibson that gets thrown off the field for 4 fouls.
There you go. Good job by Vanzella holding his cool.
It's another power play opportunity for Baltimore. They're 0 for 1 in this game, 0 for 6 for the postseason. The Comets are 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Donatelli towards the goal. It's through the goal mouth. Now Neto here on the near side, trying to set up Ferdinand inside, broken up by Asadpour. It'll be a kick in for the Blast now from midfield with 1:43 left on the power play.
Good job by Vanzella to get up there and give the touch there for Mike to start from the top there.
Lucio and Looking Land in the midfield. Looking Land's got to backtrack towards the boards to take care of that ball from Lucio.
You'll see the switch here already for the Blast on the second power play. Max Ferdinand was inside the box there in the point. Now you see him shift down to the right.
Oh, back post Donatelli on a beautiful feed from Ferdinand. And this will be a kick in for Missouri.
So Ferdinand and Neto switch places there, and you saw Neto right on cue. Ferdinand right on cue there gets the nice feed across there as Neto now the point person in the power play.
1:19 on the power play. Looking Land will send it back to Vanzella, coming up on 1 minute left on the power play. Blast have had a couple of good chances. One chance early on the first power play, and then a nice chance here on the second power play. They ended up scoring, but after teams were at equal strength.
Right after, though. Right after.
Asadpour now leaving it up ahead. Shot just wide. Well meant by Palmer. Here's a long rebound. 2-on-2. Ferdinand's got some room. Donatelli blocked out in front. 29 seconds left on the power play.
Looking land buried down low. I tell you what, if Missouri had played this well on defense, committed this early to defense during the regular season, they would have been right in the chase for the 1 seed.
Asadpour cuts over, and the penalty has been killed successfully by the Comets. They're 2 for 2, and now they kick it over the boards with 8:43 left in the half.
It's actually 8 seconds there. As our subpar structure gives us a challenge again, as it looks like it's 0, but it's actually an 8.
Oh.
And it comes back on. But now,
it's keeping on going here. So now the penalty is over. Blasto's still in control.
This is where the Blast scored last time.
Looking land inside the box. Shot goal! Ferdinand for the Blast!
They did the exact same thing. Right off the power play, they come back on, and within 10 seconds of the power play ending, they get a goal. Max Ferdinand this time on a beautiful feed across. And the Baltimore crowd loving it as Baltimore takes a 9-0 lead.
6:35 time of the goal for Max Ferdinand. His first goal tonight. It's his 26th point in his playoff career. 10 goals. He's got 9 in these playoffs.
We saw our Care First replay there as Mike Lookingland feeds it down into Max Ferdinand. He spins as a point player, pivots, puts it in the back of the net.
Lookingland's 4th assist in the playoffs, 9th point. He leads the team. It's his 30th career playoff point. And now, look at Vanzella! Robbing Palmer right out in front. That's the save of the game from about 12 feet away. There's a chance the other way towards the goal. Waltman can't come out clean with it. Now forcing the play, and then Lucio will make it in the midfield.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna keep an eye on Vanzella's celebrations tonight because he is just absolutely on fire right now. His emotion right now is unbelievable for the good and for the.
Mangione with a knuckler that almost finds the back of the net. Look at Gibson having to take it away by Roque. Roque all over the field, literally. And here's the distribution by Waltman. Gibson trying to poke it up ahead to Asadpour, broken up by a combination of Mangione and Noon.
Keeley just absolutely gets destroyed by Asadpour.
Play becoming very chippy here in the second quarter as the score starts to separate these two teams.
I mean, I couldn't tell the intent behind that, but I know that Healy was standing there. Asadpour just absolutely ran right through the back of him, well off the ball. No call there.
9-0 Baltimore with less than 7 minutes to go in the half. Since the playoff run, the championship run begun for the Blast back in 02-03, Blast have made it to the playoffs in every year but 2. Their record in the playoffs, 24 wins, 8 defeats. Great chance here, broken up by Waltman.
That's a beautiful play by Waltman to come out there and get that because Levi Wapu did about as good a job as you can in a 3-on-2 to create a scoring chance.
Back post for Noon. Intended for Mangione, broken up by the Comets. Here's Donatelli now for the Blast. 6 minutes to play in the half.
So if you're Missouri, at what point do you start to feel like you play for that third game? Or do you go all out to try and win the second game and not let it get to a third? Or do you at any point?
Dude, there's 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
So
I'm not even thinking about that.
Okay.
This is a 3-goal game.
Right. But I mean, if you get into the fourth quarter, do you relax at all and wait for that third quarter?
I don't know.
You're on the road, or do you play just all out?
Visit that in 2 hours. We got plenty of time before that happens. Ball still in play. Neto, nice get by Neto off the keeper. One touch by Donatelli. Look at this ball. Donatelli now 2-on-2. Nice cut. Donatelli with a chance. Scores! A left footer for Donatelli! 11-0 Blast.
Absolute bullet rip there. And what a great job by Donatelli to fake the shot early on, pull off the defender, circle it back down, and then just go far post on that shot as we see the crowd reacts to this 11-0 lead. Just a beautiful play early on as we'll see in the Chesapeake Employers Insurance. He dekes right there, comes back, settles the ball, regains it, and it goes far post. Danny Waltman didn't have enough time to get far enough out to get an angle. And just a beautiful left-footed shot by Donatelli.
Donatelli's Blast leading 10th point of the playoffs in his 5th game. Timeout on the floor. Blast lead it 11-0.
And we'll take a moment to thank some of our sponsors here. Attention Blast fans, don't forget to catch the rebroadcast of tonight's Blast game on Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock on Comcast Channel 204 and ABC2 Digital Plus Station 2.3. Blast Soccer also brought to you by CountySportsZone.com, the #1 source for scores, schedules, standings for all high school sports across Maryland. Visit CountySports.com to find every game every day. Remember to borrow smart at MeQ, Baltimore's credit union. Go to MECU.com to learn more. That's MECU.com. The Holiday Inn Express Baltimore at the Stadiums is the Baltimore Blast sponsor hotel. Book your hotel room on game night by calling 410-727-1818 and ask for the Baltimore Blast Family and Friends rate. I think young Mark will have a hotel room there tonight. ABC2, the exclusive home of complete Blast game highlights. ABC2 works for you. And by Pizza Bowlies, the official pizza of the Baltimore Blast, serving pizza, wings, subs, and more for Baltimore since 1985. Care First Blue Cross and Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Action Business Systems and Toshiba, your marketing solutions provider. Tonight's music is brought to you by Music Masters, a proud partner and official DJs of the Baltimore Blast. Remember, build your body with brick at Brick Bodies or Lynn Bricks. And remember, you're at home with Hirschfeld, the official apartment communities of your Baltimore Blast. Find your new home today at HirschfeldHomes.com.
Blast doing it like they always do this year, getting 5 different goals from 5 different players. Mangione, Diesel, Neto, Ferdinand, and Donatelli have all scored. Neto's three-pointer makes it 11-0 Blast. Vanzella turns to face the glass and makes the play here, and he will distribute for Baltimore with less than 5 minutes to play in the half.
It's a tough ball for Vanzella to judge there, as it was just going to tick the top of the box or top of the boards there, whether it was going to kick right down, kick far, or just go out of bounds. It's a tough place for Vanzella to be in there. And then you got to watch the edge of the box too. You don't want to reach out too far and get the handball. That's Vanzella doing his best Danny Waltman impression, coming out to half field.
Trying to go on the back post there for Roque. Roque mixed up with a Missouri defender. Looks like Palmer.
Now Roque just got a yellow. He sent off for dissent there as he gets the 5-minute game misconduct. As he apparently said something that everyone else hasn't said tonight. And so no power play for Missouri. It'll just be Roque in the box for 5 minutes. And the lead is still 11-0.
So that ends him for the first half and on into the second. Right now the Blast going with Levy, Mangione, Healy, the Diesel, and Ferdinand. Missouri countering with Gibson, Toulouse, who's been absolutely silent here tonight, Robert Palmer, Braithwaite, and Ramon Palmer. Now here's Asadpour for Missouri, coming up on the 4-minute mark in the first. Brian Harris has come out now for the Comets as well.
This guy we didn't really talk about too much in the first half, but a guy that can quickly get them back in to the game is he's got a very, very strong three-point leg.
Gibson and Healy going after one another. That's a heated battle. Noon stepping in front of Harris and intercepting that ball for the Blast. Mangione bicycle kick up ahead. That finds Noon in the corner. He's working hard to make a play.
Been neat to see on this team. You're seeing guys like Nick Mangione. You're seeing Donatelli. You're seeing Noon. You're seeing guys that have been rookies, and they're starting to get to the second and third year, and you're watching that blossom. You're watching them become not just young guys, but they're becoming players that have impact on this team that are scoring goals. You saw coming in tonight, Tony Donatelli leading the team in points. JT Noon third. The young guys are growing up, and the experience that the older guys bring to these young guys creates a very dangerous Blast team.
Speaking of dangerous, that was Vanzella with a dangerous play, blocked by Missouri, almost gave them an opportunity. Levy now trying to find the trailer. That's Donatelli with Asadpour in the corner, held in by Lucio. 2:50 left to go in the half. Give and go up the head to Noon. Staying right with him was Gibson, and breaking that up for the Comets.
Good
now
ball.
Gibson on the other side. Vanzella kicks that one away.
Beautiful ball by Harris there. Come across.
Referee says play on. Noon along the boards. Trying to wangle himself between a couple. Can't do it. 2:25 left in the half. Comets making some changes here. Ivanovic out there for Missouri, along with Rodriguez, Palmer, Gibson, and Asadpour. Here's Waltman past the midfield line. Less than 2 minutes now. Waltman sends one towards the box.
Just staying up there. It's like the 5.5 attacker.
He's got like 20 assists in his career. And you're trailing 11-0. Back to your point, you know, when do you pack it in and play for game 3? I mean, obviously not yet.
No.
But 11-0, you do some things. In the box and broken up by Gibson, of all people. Or that one would have been in the back of the net.
And Missouri maybe rightfully calling for a handball on Donatelli. It looked like it was completely inadvertent, but he definitely was in the...
Vanzella right on the foot of Robert Palmer.
Right in the box. He did not elevate the arm or move the arm at all. The arm was extended and the ball went right into the arm.
1:15 to play in the half. Here's the Diesel for the Blast now. That one defended by Gibson, but it gets through. All the way to Mangione in the corner. Left for Ferdinand. Nice backtracking, though, by Ivanovic. Gibson with Ferdinand in pursuit. The poke up ahead for Rodriguez, and Vanzella cuts him off and makes the play. 45 seconds remaining in the half.
If you're the Blast, couldn't have gone any better in the first half. Just have to hold on for these last 45 seconds, and you put another goal in, even better. If you're Missouri, you're looking for that momentum changer, that one thing you can latch onto in the locker room and look and say, okay, this is a positive we can build off of. Let's turn this momentum. Let's silence this crowd.
Blast looking to maybe have last possession here. Lucio with 28 seconds remaining in the half. It's been all Blast here in the first. 11-0 is the score. Up ahead, here's Noon.
Ten seconds. Lucio taking his time.
4 seconds, 3 seconds off the boards in the box, broken up by the Comets. And that's the end of the first half here in Baltimore, with the Blast leading it 11-0 over the Comets.
Not much you can say. I mean, Mangione, Diesel getting the goals early. Neto with the three-pointer there on the deflection. I mean, a lot of great things for the Blast. Looking Land looks sharp early. Vanzella seems healthy, moving around very well for the Blast. A lot of positives.
We'll come back with our third quarter right after this.
Did you know that dancing can do wonders for your health? It's been proven to reduce stress, strengthen your heart and lungs, and actually improve bone density. Tests show it can even improve brain activity. At Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, we give you even more to dance about. More choices, more experience, more doctors. So if you know what's good for you, keep dancing. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. More to feel good about.
Every day, all across Maryland, we help employers keep workers safe from accidents and injuries. We're Chesapeake Employers Insurance Company, formerly IWIF. At Chesapeake Employers, workers' compensation insurance and workplace safety have been our mission and passion for nearly 100 years, and will be for 100 more. We help protect Maryland workers because
at the end of every workday, someone's waiting for your safe return.
Connect with your local agent or visit us online.
Kevin Healy, president of your Baltimore Blast.
And I'm Steve Perutka of the law firm of Perutka and Perutka.
I've known Steve and Michael Perutka since our days together playing for the Greyhounds. For over 30 years, they have ethically and efficiently practiced law here in the great state of Maryland. They've helped thousands of Marylanders, and they can help you. So when you need legal assistance, see my good friends Steve and Michael Perutka.
Thanks, Kevin. Two great teams, the Baltimore Blast and the law firm of Perutka and Perutka.
Halftime here in Baltimore is the score 11-0 Blast over the Comets. We're going to take a minute and thank some of our sponsors, and then we have a special halftime interview as the league commissioner here. Just a second, we'll speak with Gary Stein as we bring in commissioner. First, we want to recognize that rates are at record lows, and Fremont Mortgage is helping Blast fans save big by refinancing and helping them become homeowners. Processing are done locally, so don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. See Fremont on the back of Blast jerseys or Fremont.com. Fremont's goal is great service, 2 on Sundays, 9 to 11 a.m. on 106.7 The Fan. Chesapeake Employers Insurance Company is a proud sponsor of Kids Chance of Maryland. Over thousands of Marylanders are disabled by heavy job injuries. Some, unfortunately, are catastrophically injured or lose their lives. Chesapeake Employers Insurance Company will donate $25 to the Kids Chance Scholarship Fund for the goals scored by Blast this season. Please visit kidschance-maryland.org for information on how you can help or to apply for more scholarship assistance. Mission Barbecue serves traditional American barbecue with a side of patriotism at Isles, Maryland, and York, Pennsylvania locations. For more information, visit missionbarbecue.com. Get the latest from around the league and follow MISL on Twitter. Of course, Gary Stein, a prolific Twitterer. And then finally, if you're listening in Baltimore tonight, come on down to the Pratt Street Ale House after this game for a post-game party. Your favorite players will be out there, cheerleaders, enjoying food and drink specials just for Black fans. We've had that food all season long in the media tent. There's some good food down there. I stopped by to visit them the other day. They got the tap house all set up with all the brews there. That's a nice place down there, right within walking distance of the arena. Definitely stop down there and see our friends down there at Pratt Street Ale House. And thank you for all your sponsorship over the year. So we're going to come in now, and Gary, you're on, and you're going to talk to the commissioner here.
You're going to Give your headsets over there. So 11-0 is the score at the end of the first half. The Blast getting goals from 5 different players. Mangione, Diesel, Neto, Ferdinand, and Donatelli. Chris Economides from the MISL is joining us now. How are you, sir? Welcome.
Great. It's always great to be in Baltimore. Sort of like deja vu.
I was just about to say, these same 2 teams actually were here last year. I mean, give us your thoughts on the game first. I mean, Missouri had a great game against the Blast in the opener. Blast are kind of handling it right now, at least at the half.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tale of 2 games so far, and probably a 3rd game.
More than likely.
If things stay the way they are. But Baltimore's come out this half and just played a tremendous half after Missouri, played a great game in the first game. You know, Vahid Asadpour with 3 of the nicest goals, that I've ever seen. Tremendous shots. Great victory for the Comets back in Kansas City, and now Baltimore's doing the business that they got to do back here in Baltimore. And if things stay the way they are, it should be an entertaining 3rd game.
No doubt. A lot of energy in this game. The Blast getting William Van Zella back in goal, who was the goalkeeper of the year this year in the MISL, and that's obviously made a big difference for this game. In case you're joining us late, Blast leading 11-0 at the half. Chris, give us the state of the MISL. Where are things right now, and what do you see as far as the future is concerned?
Well, you know what? We're coming off a good year. Like any other league, we've had some trials and tribulations in terms of expansion, and the Pennsylvania Roar this year exactly weren't the 1927 Yankees. But you know what? It's been a great playoff series. Both series this year, I thought, were 2 of the more memorable playoff series in league history. Both going to 3rd games. I was fortunate enough to be able to watch both. The Syracuse-Baltimore series I thought was a classic. So you know what? It bodes well for the future. We're excited to have, again, two of the marquee, better run organizations here in the finals, and we'll see where the future takes us.
As far as potential expansion is concerned, and we're always talking to people who are interested in the game and blogs and all that, the 6 or 7 team league, that's only going to go so far. Do you think there is an opportunity to maybe get to that 10 or 12 mark or whatever that magic mark is?
That's always been our goal, Gary. We're not satisfied with 6 or 7 teams. But we're into the mindset that we'd rather have, quality rather than quantity, and it's just difficult to find. It's difficult to find ownership groups like Ed Hale, like the Comets, Brad Likens and company in Missouri. Again, 2 quality ownership groups there. So we're trying to find the right pieces to the puzzle. We're constantly trying. There are some coals in the fire. We'll see where it takes us.
All right. And as far as the affiliation with YouTube, have you seen an increase this year as far as viewership is concerned?
Absolutely. The numbers are a lot higher than they were last year. It's a credit to the teams and their broadcast. And you guys here, the guys in Kansas City, all throughout the league, they just do a tremendous job. It's a credit to the people that do the hard work game in and game out. And absolutely, we're very pleased with the numbers and very pleased with our partnership with YouTube.
And also, another question a lot of people ask, as far as determining the amount of games, like for instance, last year there were 26 regular season games. This year there were 20. There have been seasons where there are 30. There have also been seasons where there are 18. When are those decisions made, and how do you make those?
It's all up to the Board of Governors. We've got our annual meetings that we hold normally in late May, early June. And the owners sit around the table, and we obviously have agendas drawn up prior to that. We get calls and particular owners lobbying for certain things. We put it on the agenda, and then the owners vote on the season start, the season length, all those things.
Okay, sounds good. Listen, you guys have done a great job. This game, I've been around it now for about 15 years. I know the history. It just keeps getting better and better. It's just a matter of people finding out about it, you guys marketing it, everybody talking about it, whatever's necessary. But the game is definitely still a great game. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. You guys do a great job here, and should be entertaining last 30 and then probably 45 minutes.
We shall see.
Thank you, sir.
Chris, thank you. Absolutely great to see you as always. All right, we'll take a timeout here at the half. 11-0 is the score. The Blast leading the Comets. We'll come back with the final 30 of regulation right after this.
Test.
I mean, it's going down a little bit. That's better. Whatever that was. Now I'm off. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, well, I can hear myself now. Check. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear you? Can you hear me, rather? Yeah. And you? Okay. Yeah, I can hear now. I couldn't hear. Yeah, now I can. Gotcha.
Back at you for our third quarter here at Baltimore Arena at the half. The Blast 11, the Missouri Comets nothing. Gary Stein, Andrew Primrose with you here from the arena. Quite a reversal from our first game of the series where the Comets beat the Blast 15-8 on 5 3-point goals in that game. And right now, it's funny, they got 5 3-pointers in the first game, Andrew. We got different goals from 5 different players in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look at that. On cue, the professional in the Fremont Mortgage. We see Mangione with the first goal, 1:30 into the game. We see Diesel here off the deflection. Ball comes back across the box there. Neto with a 3-point deflection here. We'll see as Lucio settles. You'll see the power play come right back on as the ball starts coming in. Neto, boom, one touch. And then off the deflection, 3-point goal. At this point, it is 7-0. Then 9-0 here is Ferdinand off the assist from Looking Land. Again, right after a power play. And then our final goal here is Tony Donatelli, a 2-point goal on the deke move there as he went right, settled the ball, and then went left far post with the left footer there. And the Blast, as they come back onto the field, 11-0 right now, basically 60 minutes away from a championship right now for the Blast. As they look, or 45. It's math. It's so difficult with me.
You're not real good with math.
No, 45 minutes away from a championship. And if you're Missouri, you have a half to put up 12 points.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario for Missouri. Worst case scenario, you're also 45 minutes away from a championship.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's, yes, absolutely. And that's the neat thing about being here tonight in Baltimore and watching us. There will be a championship awarded at the end of this evening, no matter what happens. And we've talked about this in the previous series, but let's talk about what happens if we do go to that third game. What does that third game mean? That third game means we have a 15-minute break in between. We come back and we play a 15-minute game. It's a full game. It is not a golden goal game. It's a full 15-minute game, penalties, stoppages, everything the same. If that game is still tied at the end of 15 minutes, then we go to a sudden death golden goal environment for the championship, which is just about as exciting as it gets. So for Missouri and Baltimore, the road to the championship ends right now.
Teams are back out on the floor. The Blast will be defending the goal off to our right. Vanzella continues in goal for Baltimore. He's the X factor here for the Blast tonight. Hernandez got the start Friday night in Missouri. Waltman still in goal for the Comets. 16 shots for the Blast in the first half. Only 6 for the Comets in the first half. The Blast have been defending well, both inside their own end and in midfield. Blast definitely controlling play in the midfield here tonight.
You see Roque with a couple minutes left on his, or a couple seconds rather left on his game misconduct there as he's serving the 5-minute yellow card in the box there. It should be about 35 seconds left before he comes out. Of course, he has to wait for a stoppage to run across to get on, not like a blue card where he can be released from the box.
At the same time, though, not a power play situation here for the Comets either. Here's Waltman now for Missouri. And I think you're going to see a lot of this. Danny Waltman up in the midfield for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and such a great point from you, Gary, is what do you have to lose at this point? It's 11-0 lead. You need to get a couple goals to get back into this. It's the difference between 11-0 and 13-0. 2 points.
Yeah. But you're still on the short end, and that's the main thing. Here's Gibson now at the yellow line for the Comets. They reverse field here on the near side to Harris, who had 5 3-pointers in the regular season. You know, that's the other thing. Missouri had 15 3-pointers in the regular season. They were third in the league. They had 5 in the opener. Blast here's a 3-point try there, but Blast have done a good job of defending around the arc and not allowing the Comets to get good shots from out there.
The one thing that's interesting to watch here is the effect this has, and you'll see Waltman's conditioning. That much extra running coming back and forth there, and then the half field back and forth. Doing that over the course of a half, what kind of impact will that have on his condition? Obviously not saving anything for tomorrow, championship game. But what does he have in the tank to come back and run back and forth, and be able to play at the elite level goaltender that he is?
Deflected out of bounds by Donatelli. So it'll be a free kick here for Perez. Will run it over, and Harris now will take it for the Comets. This one deflected by Donatelli over the boards. A corner kick coming up for Missouri. I don't think Donatelli even saw that one.
I think Donatelli's going to feel that one tomorrow. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, that ball had some pace on it. It kicked right off. It deflected so hard it took down a banner off the railing up in the second level there. You see the banner kind of hanging down there, knocked off the zip tie there. So that ball had some pace on it, and this is a dangerous restart for Missouri.
1:22 remaining. Vanzella with a kick save. And they had run a screen right out in front of Vanzella, and he was still equal to the task.
Vanzella got beat 5-hole, and the latter part of his rear end getting that save. His hip ball beat him 5-hole easy and went through there, as you saw the sliding defender as well. But just incredible athleticism from Vanzella to keep that ball out of the net.
Young gives it up to Lucio. Now Looking Land's got a chance with a left, and right out in front from Roque. Waltman makes the play. Here's the outlet to Gibson, tackled away by Donatelli on the floor. Now a whistle and a foul called here against the Blast with less than 13 minutes left to go in the third.
And that was a foul on JT Noon. He tried to circle back around, and he grabbed upper body. Could have probably called a little bit of a flop there, but he did have him circled around and pull him down and held on to him.
Waltman now for Missouri. And that one kicked away by Toulouse.
Talked about Toulouse, and I wanted to talk about him tonight because what an impact and what a trade. You don't see too many trades in this league paying dividends like it did, but to see him come on and come from Pennsylvania, and I guess, it's got to be a lot of energy coming from an expansion franchise that was struggling in a season, and to say that they were struggling is the nice way to say it. To come here to a team that's playing in their second straight championship and to be around those kind of scores, that's a lot of enthusiasm that brings as the Blast will get a dangerous restart.
Roque on the restart puts it into the back of the net, but looks like they're going to wave this one off. The foul's on Braithwaite here.
See, that was one of the points of emphasis for the league, was allowing quick restarts on there. But I guess they were not happy with the position of that, and so the Blast have that taken off.
Towards the goal, and it bounces off the boards, and here's a rebound and a score for Lucio. Well, this one makes it 13-0 Blast.
You saw an absolute blast by Looking Land off that restart there, and it almost went through the wall there as Waltman came across there. Bounces off the boards. Lucio in perfect position for that rebound and just able to nail it on the half volley right back in as he encourages the crowd to step up and get into it as the Blast take a 13-0 lead here in Game 2. No kiss the wife? I guess that's not a championship thing.
That's going to take too much energy.
There's not a lot of people. There's more, bigger crowd than usual. He's got the hamstring he's working on. I understand.
Too many factors.
Yeah.
Can't do the kiss the wife.
I tell you right now, though, if we were to go to a golden goal and he scores that, I'm going to run over and kiss his wife.
How do you think she'll feel about that? 2:21 time of the goal. Lucio, that's the 6th different Blast player to score in this game. For Lucio, that's his first points of the postseason. His 9th goal career postseason. 22nd point in 15 games, and it gives the Blast a 13-0 lead.
You see the impact of Lucio on the field, not just in the goal scoring, but just in his overall presence, his ball control, his pressure. He's a guy that the Blast are not as good when he's not on the field.
Yeah, they really suffered without him Friday night. They suffered without Van Zella Friday night. They got both of them back. Dos Santos is ineligible for this game, game 2 with the red card, so they'll have him back for game 3 should it get there. Sosa for Missouri is ineligible for game 2. And they'll have him for game 3 should they get there.
You got to think that kind of plays into Missouri's favor there, is having a healthy Sosa come back in there, third leading scorer coming in there. Dos Santos is a great player, an effort player, driving player, but Sosa, a guy that puts up a lot of points.
Well, but not their leader, though. It's Gibson.
No, 46 third leading scorer.
Right.
46 points in the regular season.
Asatpour now in the midfield. And now, still with 11:30 to go, plenty of time, but now your question from the first half. If you're Vlatko Andonovski and the Missouri Comets, how do you approach the rest of regulation here, trailing 13-0, knowing that your season more than likely is going to rest on the final 15 minutes? Now I think you start to really think about that a little more. If you had gotten out, maybe got a three-pointer, maybe got a goal at the end of the first half, maybe built up some momentum, if you had cut it to 11-5, that's another story. But at 13-0 within the next few minutes, I think it's a factor.
Do you sit Danny Waltman? Let him get a blow in the fourth quarter?
No. I don't
You want to keep
so.
him fresh? You want to keep him in the game action?
I don't know that sitting Danny Waltman helps Danny Waltman.
Okay.
He's got so much nervous energy. What's sitting going to do?
He's one of those guys that he would start and you cramp up there. That's an excellent point there.
I mean, you play Danny Waltman till the cows come home.
Yeah. Well, they have all season. I mean, he started every game so far this year.
Yeah.
And really, for Allen, the backup is 26 minutes we saw there for the regular season there. So he's a workhorse.
Asatpour played more minutes in goal as a sixth attacker than their backup keeper played.
45 minutes as a sixth attacker.
St. Louis and Healy both go to the floor. Look like a wrestling move.
We've talked a bunch about how this Missouri team has seen this defensive renaissance and this defensive effort. That really shouldn't be a surprise when you look at their coach. And you talk about their coach, and it's easy to look at Danny Kelly and David Bascom on the Blast bench and see them as former players. But Andonovski, a very good player in his own right. A guy that played for Kansas City. He's also the head coach of the women's NWSL team, the KCFC. But as a player, MVP in 2005 of the league with the Comets. He was a Defensive Player of the Year in 2002, and he's a two-time All-Star. So he's a guy that's been on this field, played against these teams, and is able to say to those guys, this is what you need to do to win, and this is how you need to play defense.
Asatpour kicks one towards the goal, kicked out by Healy. Blast now on the counter. Gioni, nice ball up ahead, Lucio. Lucio trying to tip it back to Marco. And he tries to send one through the box, intended for Lucio, broken up on the defense. Here's Neto, stripped clean by Rodriguez. Lucio steps back in front. Good ball movement here. Neto in the corner. Oh, look at this, finding his man on the far side. That's Noon. That one blocked.
It's going to sound weird in a 13-0 game, but I think this is as good as two teams have played against each other here in Baltimore all season. Missouri is playing very good soccer right now. They're playing good, clean, control soccer. They're getting beat. They've had a couple bad breaks, but this is two good soccer teams going against each other. This 15-minute game is going to be very interesting if we get to that point.
Big mistake here. Neto easily. 15-0 All Blast.
I just gave Missouri credit, and they give up another goal. That's all right. As we look here, 15-0. So for the Blast, you got to feel good about your chances for that game 3. As Neto picks up his second goal of the evening, 5th point of the game, and this is just a mistake on the defensive end, and Neto capitalizes there, and it's 15-0. Baltimore.
For Neto now, that's 24 career postseason goals in 27 games. That's his 50th career postseason point. They won't come any easier than that one.
Yeah, see the turnover as the ball goes back. Chipton is just right in front, and Waltman, no chance there as he's all the way out by the top of the arc. No chance to cut off an angle that far out.
Blast have outscored Missouri 4-0 in the first, 7-0 in the second, now 4-0 in the third. Then Zella will get called for a foul. No, Missouri getting called for the foul.
Yeah, it was Gibson there trying to screen him out there, and Vanzella didn't have the opportunity to get in front there to make the play. And, of course, the goaltender in his box has the ability to go get the ball unimpeded.
If you're Vlatko Andonovski, the biggest task that you have right now, the biggest task is, assuming it stays this way. I mean, who knows? Missouri could come back on fire and score 7 goals in a row.
Yeah.
But assuming it stays this way, the biggest task you have as a head coach is to implore your team to forget about the first 60 minutes of soccer here tonight. 15 minutes is all that matters. And that's a big psychological thing that he needs to do.
I'll tell you why I think he's in better shape than possibly he should have been or could have been. 15 points right now, and then you'd say they're out of it. Blast hadn't given up more than 12 points and only gave up double-digit points twice. They demonstrated in that first game that they could play the Blast and they could beat the Blast. That, psychologically, they came into that game 3-10 against the Blast all time. Only 3 wins against the Blast, one of them coming last year. The psychology is there for this team. They are not afraid of Baltimore. They walked in here, and yes, they're probably a little back on their heels in this game, but I really feel like this team is able to come back into the box, into the locker room after this game, sit down and say, we can come back and we can win this game. I don't think they're afraid of Baltimore at all.
It'll be a free kick here for the Blast. An official's timeout with 7:54 left to play in the third.
And we'll take a moment to thank some of our fantastic sponsors here with the Blast. And if the Blast score 15 points or more, which they have done, all fans here can redeem their ticket at Buffalo Wild Wings and White Marsh or Owings Mill locations. Buy a small order of wings and get a snack size order for free. Offer valid for 1 week after the game. Limit 1 order per person per ticket stub. Do we have a ticket available for Paul Mittermeier? We have to put one aside for him. Of course, he is the Buffalo Wild Wings king. We remind you to come to the Pratt Street Ale House after the game for a post-game party. We told you anybody that's listening, come down there. Great food. Meet the players and cheerleaders while enjoying those food and drink specials just for Blast fans. First Mariner Bank. Bank when it's convenient for you with free online banking and free mobile banking for First Mariner. It's like adding a 25th hour to your day, courtesy of First Mariner Bank. Are you frustrated at work, Gary? By slow computers or system crashes? Netacom provides flat-rate service plans to keep your computers running and help your business perform. Call 888-NETACOM to sign up. Chesapeake Employers Insurance Company is Maryland's largest writer for workers' comp insurance. For a business coverage quote, connect with your local agent. Maryland Eye Care, covering all your eye care needs from contact lenses to cataract surgery. We've got you in our sights. And remember, you're at home with Hirschfeld, the official apartment communities of your Baltimore Blast. Find your new home today at HirschfeldHomes.com. At Bubblegum Shrimp Company, we're cooking up great food and great fun, just like Mama makes it. We've got something for everyone, from seafood to ribs, steaks, and more. You're sure to go home happy. CareFirst Blue Cross and Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Metro PCS, with no annual contract and blazing fast 4G speed on a nationwide 4G network. Metro PCS is the wireless company that gives you everything you want, unlimited data, text, and talk for a low monthly rate.
Back to the action here with Healy on the ball, now stepping over it for DeRue. Off the boards in the box, Roquet with a twister. That one is wide. St. Louis double teamed in the corner. Ball squirts out towards Palmer, broken up by Lucio. And now pushed down by Palmer, so it'll be a free kick for the Blast from midfield with 7:42 remaining in the third. Blast all over the Comets, 15-0. Blast getting goals from 6 different players tonight. The only player with more than one is Neto, who's got a 3-pointer off a deflection and a 2-pointer off a turnover. Easy goal. Pushed by Harris. No call as Roquet goes high into the air. And Gibson wins the ball in the midfield. Up ahead for San Luis. Here's Harris now, who had one of the 3-pointers in the opener. Using the boards to skip by a man. Zuniga will take it away from the back end. Vanzella comes to help.
That ball just snuck a little bit past Asadpour. Lucio was in wide open position for a breakaway, and it was a good job by Asadpour to hold that ball in there, as that ball could have just skipped right through, and the Blast would have been up 17-0.
Blast get called for a foul here in their own end with 6:49 left in the third. Asadpour, who played at Detroit before coming to Missouri. A lot of these players did. Waltman played for the Ignition. Asadpour. Gibson played for the Ignition. Rodriguez now on the receiving end. Towards the box, kicked away by Zuniga. Held in by the boards.
The good news is it looks like this franchise that's come in, they're going to be around for a long time.
Well
Great
run.
fan base, well-run organization. The broadcast, beautiful quality. Got to compliment them on what a fantastic broadcast they did.
Nice ball here. Noon to Zuniga in the box. Healy will scamper back to the yellow line. Oh, he's hit hard by Rodriguez. And a foul called on Rodriguez now inside the yellow line. Both players sprawling to the floor.
But finishing our thought, we're looking forward to hopefully many more series with Missouri. It's back-to-back championship series against them, and this looks like a franchise that's going to be a challenge for years to come.
Well, I'll tell you, we got a good thing going with Missouri, there's no question. But the series, though, is Milwaukee and Missouri. That is just, that has taken on some epic proportions over the last 4 years. The way that Missouri won it last year with 4 seconds left on the cross by Sosa, ironically, who's not playing here in Game 2, to Alvarez, that'll go down as one of the all-time great finishes in MISL postseason history.
Won the third game in Milwaukee again to qualify to come here, too. Absolutely. And you almost look, too, to Baltimore's side. It's not quite there yet, but Syracuse had a very good series against Baltimore, coming into Baltimore, playing tough, forcing that Game 3.
Tough as nails.
That could be exciting. You see Millwood bringing a sense of excitement to that franchise and some purpose as they get their first playoff berth. There's some excitement building in the MISL and some teams that can compete long-term and some good, solid franchises. You saw Baltimore not even win the attendance record for the first time in a very long time in this iteration of the MISL.
Coming up on 5 minutes now in the third. Blast all over the Comets, 15-0 Game 2. There will be a Game 3 if necessary here tonight, 15 minutes after the conclusion of Game 2. Saved by Vanzella on the near post. Here's Neto escaping his defender.
I love when Neto just gets in his ball holding mode and he just starts spinning around like a ballerina out there and he keeps the ball away.
Here's Looking Land, the runner. Nice feed down for Mangione. One touch, and that one blocked. And a whistle here. That'll be on the Blast.
Don't know what the call was. There was no indication. Interesting as it comes back. It looks like it's going to be a goalkeeper distribution coming back, or is it just going to be a restart from inside the box?
4:27 left in the third.
Interesting goings on there as Missouri gets a restart and on a foul of an unclear nature. Handball.
Mangione handball. Inside for San Luis, broken up by Looking Land. Nice help there by Mangione. Neto will chase. Harris back to his keeper. Coming up on 4 minutes here in the third.
You got to figure there was a time maybe 5-6 years ago where Neto would have absolutely just run past Harris at that point. Now it's a pretty good race, but Neto a step or two down from his MVP days.
DeRue was called for a foul there and then up and over the goal. A quick restart here. Let's see if the referees will allow it.
They're going to give him the corner kick.
So they do allow the restart. Why do they allow that restart and not the Blast quick restart before?
Unless they didn't, and this is the spot of the foul because it's not right on the corner.
That's possible.
So that's where they called the foul, is I'm guessing. I don't know.
Broken up by the Blast, midfield.
(16-6) shot advantage for Baltimore so far. Vanzella only 6 shots, but most of them well meant. There's 2 of them that he's had to make very, very good saves on to keep the ball out of the back of the net. The one where he got beat 5-hole and somehow still managed to stop it.
St. Louis in the corner. Picked up by Looking Land. Now Harris trying to beat a man at the turn. Yeah. Oh, look at this. The blue card is shown on Levy.
That's a good
boarding.
It's a good call. He went in out of control. He tried to go in there with the body, and he was beat by 2 steps. If he had come in and gotten further down the boards when he tried to make that play, it would have been all right. But he was trying to come in with the body too far down the boards. It should have been a foul. And a card is justified there.
The time of the penalty, 11:50 of the third. 2 minutes for boarding on Levi Wapu, the rookie out of UMBC. The Comets 1 for 3 on the power play in the postseason. The Blast, 5 of 7 successful penalty kills.
So the Blast haven't been able to score in either one of their penalties, but have been able to score within 10 seconds after they end. We'll see what Missouri can do with their chance.
Perez, Gibson, Palmer, Rodriguez, Asadpour, the power players. And they score on a beautiful bicycle kick by Gibson. And the shutout is over, and the Comets are on the board at the 12:06 mark of the third.
What a goal. I mean, what an absolutely beautiful ball there. As Van Zella wasn't in bad position. It was just, usually when you see a bicycle kick, a lot of times it's that the ball is just kind of flutters in and it's not there. This was a well-placed, well-meant shot that also happened to come off a bicycle kick. I don't know if we're going to get a replay here, but that was a beautiful goal. That was well-earned. If you're going to lose a shutout, Gary, that's the kind of goal you lose it on. Not on a wimpy one that sneaks in. That was a well-shot ball.
Leo Gibson with his 7th playoff goal, his league-leading 16th playoff point. 15-2, time to go 12:06. Now here they come the other way on the turnover. Gibson finding Rodriguez, picked up by the Diesel in the corner. Zuniga there to help as well.
You don't want to say anything's over, and obviously if Missouri's able to get 2 or 3 in relatively quickly here, it could be a very interesting fourth quarter, but for Baltimore, not much has changed here, even with the 2-point goal.
Well, they got to get 13 to tie it. Hard to imagine that could happen, but not impossible. What a great save by Van Zella on a well-meant shot by Toulouse.
And as you say that almost was a 10-point game there. Van Zella, I don't know how we had a perfect angle down from that shot, and I don't know how Van Zella even saw that ball was coming in.
What a reaction, no doubt about it. He is so quick. Corner kick now for the Comets. Looping it towards the goal. Broken up by the Blast. Zuniga, Waltman, though, will beat him. Now the Blast with Waltman well out of goal.
Yeah.
With
ordinarily,
less than 2 minutes now to play in the third.
Ordinarily, if a goalie had been back on his line or back where usual goalie's position, that would have been a scoring chance for Zuniga and an opportunity to go in. But because Waltman was up there, it cut off that scoring chance. In addition to helping them offensively, it's now helping them defensively.
Asadpour holds it in for the Comets.
The other thing, Gary, is this crowd's kind of settled in a little bit. You know, you had the goal fest early. You started to slow down in the third quarter. You had halftime. You got a little food in the belly there, and it's getting late. It's a school night. This crowd's kind of sitting on their hands a little bit. We see them get a little more fired up here. Maybe they're just saving it for the mini game.
Snow coming tonight. May not be school tomorrow for the little ones. Towards the goal, blocked out by Zuniga. Rodriguez trying to find Gibson inside. Boy, Gibson is the definition of versatility. Obviously can play forward. When he was needed in the back, they moved him to the back. He played well there. Had a couple of years ago, where he had 50 points and more than 40 blocks.
No doubt about it, one of the better players in this league. One of the best players in this league.
Top five.
An elite player. And was up for MVP for this year and would have been a solid candidate.
Then there's a guy named Mike Lookingland.
Well, I'm stopped here to see. I thought the foul was going to come against Missouri, and it was awarded to the Blast. And interesting, the crowd doesn't like it. But, yes, absolutely, the season that Mike Lookingland had, and you talk about those years when you can have the offensive and defensive end. You have a Blast team that gave up 101 points in a season, a modern record, captained by the guy that led the league in blocks. And then, oh, by the way, he was also 7th in the league in points.
Harris. Last one from out there. Wide of the mark. Nice step in by Healy. Tackles the ball away beautifully. Zuniga up ahead. Held in by Asadpour. 44 seconds to play. The left-footed three. That one blocked by Noon. And now a big collision in the midfield, and they call the foul on Healy. And there was a Roquet, and Roquet is hurt. Looked like he had his leg jammed into the goalkeeper's body.
Yeah. As Wallman goes over to explain, I mean, he was going for the ball. The leg was up. I guess you call the foul. I'm not even sure. I mean, it was a clear challenge, but more importantly, beyond the action on the field, Roque immediately motions to the bench for his knee. It definitely jammed back into him, and he is not in a lot of – he's in a lot of pain right now. He's down there, and he's holding on to that knee. That went in there. I'm not sure what the foul would have been. Both players came in. But
I think dangerous play would have been the foul.
Both players had their legs up there. I think because Roque's went towards the ball and Waltman's didn't make contact. I don't know why you penalized the guy that got to the ball first there. But, again, more importantly, as they look at the knee here, you just hope that Roque is able to stand up. And, of course, nice move by Waltman there, checking on him, standing there as he goes through here. But regardless, Roque down on the ground. We'll wait to see if he comes back. Waltman looks like he's fine as he's moving around well here. It looks like he got the lesser impact of the collision there. And for Missouri, it's going to be a restart short of midfield.
So great shot here of Roque on the floor. You see the trainer working on the right knee of Lucas Roque. We'll take a timeout here and come back with more from our third quarter. Blast 15, Comets 2. So you saw the pictures of Lucas Roque walking very gingerly off the floor here after the injury, and now you really got to think with 33 seconds left in the third, assuming there is a Game 3, how does that injury affect the Blast for Game 3 with no Luis Roque available?
Well,
if that's the case.
We do know that we have the Dos Santos coming back off, so if you do dress two goalies, which the inclination is that the Blast would dress a second goalie for the third game with Vanzella being hurt. If they do that, then you're looking at Dos Santos.
I think the ball had gone out of play.
Hit the top of the glass. And I guess they stopped it there. But if Dos Santos comes in, you would see him come in. You also have Freddie Mugin sitting on the bench. He had some injury issues. Not sure he did play Game 1, so we're not positive about his availability tonight. But there is the option of dressing him with the third game, the mini game. It's a completely different roster. So anybody that's dressed or didn't dress, you're allowed to restart and reset. Anybody that's on the playoff roster is allowed.
Not sure what the fans are booing about.
Asadpour wouldn't get off the ball. It was just staying on top of the ball and wouldn't back up, and the referee just allowing him to continue to plead his case.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So a little pall over the crowd here at Baltimore Arena on the injury to Roque. Still, the Blast leading the Missouri Comets 15-2 after the first 45 minutes of play. Back for more after this.
Playing soccer can be a healthy and satisfying experience, but it can also take a toll on your legs and feet. I'm Dr. Richard Levine from Union Memorial Sports Medicine. Proper conditioning, technique, and footwear are important, but injuries may still occur. Early diagnosis and treatment are the key to a successful recovery and early return to the game. If you find yourself with a sports-related injury, call our free sports injury line and speak to a certified athletic trainer. Union Memorial Sports Medicine. Experience matters.
Leading the Comets 15-2 after the first 3 quarters. Blast outscoring Missouri 4-2 in the third. Lucio and Neto for the Blast. Gibson, a 2-point power play goal at 12:06, broke the shutout for the Blast.
Maybe the best news that we've seen, regardless of, in addition to the score, is look over to the Blast bench and there's Roque standing.
That is good news.
So that's very good news. It did not look like he was able to put any weight on initially. Sometimes when your knee jams like that, it's that stinger and it goes there, and then it kind of loosens up a little bit as it goes. So it might be good news for him.
On the kickoff, Healy dumped it into the corner for Giroux. Ball won by the Comets. Now Waltman past the yellow line. Again, they got a lot of ground to make up. They need to make up 13 points in the last 14 and a half here.
We look at that third quarter, 8 shots on goal, beating their what had been the first half numbers, doubling that up there as they're up to 14 shots on goal. They were able to score one and maybe probably should have had at least one other one there. So definitely a pickup in the offensive intensity for Missouri.
Blast leading in shots 21-14 after 3. Here's a shot by Perez from way downtown, and that one is well over the bar. And so it'll be a goalkeeper distribution for Vanzella. And let's talk about Vanzella, Andrew, and the difference that he's made for the Blast here tonight.
Well, one thing that we haven't seen is we haven't seen Missouri pull the trigger on 3-pointers. I don't know if that's a confidence, an opportunity thing, if it's playing in Baltimore, but you saw so many more chances that Hernandez faced, and then, of course, when he wasn't able to stop them, they turned into goals. But you wonder how much of that is the fact that they respect Vanzella's ability to stop that, and they thought they saw something in Hernandez that they could exploit, or by nature of the game, the Blast got out to a strong lead as the Blast get a turnover here. Ball across. What a goal.
What a cross. What a goal. Neto from, I believe it was Noon.
JT Noon down there.
Is it JT? Unbelievable ball from Neto. What a delivery by JT. 17-2 Blast.
Look at Neto.
Look at Neto.
It's a hat trick for Neto tonight. Now his third goal there for Neto. And the pass from Noon, it was created off the turnover. The ball kind of sitting there for Noon. And as he circles down across, we'll see on the MidStar Sports Medicine, Noon down there, just a one touch, and then Neto, wow, just beautiful, right on the head there as that ball just absolutely went in. And that's two guys that are in lockstep with each other. Two guys that are very comfortable with what they're doing. And Noon, you talk about a guy that's 7 points coming into tonight, having a great game, having a great playoffs, announcing that he's one of those veteran guys now. He's not a rookie anymore.
Well, Noon had a hat trick in the bad loss Friday night, gets the assist here. Neto with a hat trick tonight. Neto now with 25 career playoff goals in 27 games. He's got 52 points in his playoff career. And so the Blast now 17-2.
13 points for the playoffs for Neto. You got to feel good about when Neto's heating up and putting the ball in the back of the net, this Blast offense. The one player that Blast would love to see heat up like Neto is Max Ferdinand. Guy that's had a slow postseason and a slow end of the regular season, too. If he can start to put the ball in the back of the net and you give that Blast offense, we know the defense is good, but if that Blast offense starts finishing, it's a very good chance this will be championship number 8 for Baltimore.
Okay, speaking of Ferdinand, ties up with Brian Harris in the midfield. Foul on Max. Max, a former Rookie of the Year back in 2010. Blast had back-to-back Rookies of the Year. Had Healy in 9. Ferdinand in 10. Neto, not our Neto, but Syracuse's Neto was 11. Lucas Rodriguez from Missouri was 12. Luan Oliveira was 13 for Milwaukee.
And almost right on cue, the guy that the Blast were hoping would be this year's version of the Rookie of the Year is Levi Wapu, a UMBC graduate, came in, guy that was an MLS player, and he came in. He was derailed by some injuries, and also, it's tough to get some playing time on this team. It's tough to get those reps there. But what you saw from Levi is flashes. You saw that this is the guy that's going to wake up. He's going to see those things, and he had so many chances. He definitely had to lead rookies in post-hit this year, if not goals. Just absolutely peppered the side.
And here is Levy now in the midfield along with Noon. Foul called on Noon. The Rookie of the Year this year did go to O'Dane Sinclair from the St. Louis Ambush. Had a big year early, tailed off a little bit late, as did the Ambush, actually.
We talked about the health of the league a little earlier and how exciting that is.
Wow, what a return from Gibson outside Poor, and Vanzella right there to make the play.
We talked about the health of the league, and we talked about stop the play there.
Ball call.
No,
Comets.
hit Rodriguez right in the face there as he comes through there. It just absolutely took that off the nose.
11:33 left in Game 2. It's looking very much like a Game 3 will be in the offing here at the arena. It'll be the second straight postseason series that the Blast have to go to Game 3.
Same for Missouri.
Same for Missouri is right. They beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee 6-2 on 2 big Brian Harris goals.
Not many teams do that in Milwaukee. Of course, the Blast did win one championship in Milwaukee.
Blast actually, my son and I, Mark, were talking about this in the car. Blast actually beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee for a championship. They also beat Monterey in Milwaukee for a championship. Remember that 1 year?
Yes.
Where it was preordained that Milwaukee was going to host. They were going to a quote-unquote neutral site that year.
Yeah. And then that was the year that Monterey
and the Blast. And you know what? There were Monterey fans there.
There
were Monterey fans there. They traveled.
The shame of that franchise, because there were some great battles. There was the semifinal game here that Monterey won in overtime. That would have gone to the third game. Of course, that was a series where Segu had his incident in Monterey and was unavailable. But for the Blast, or for Monterey rather, their problem was securing the ability to travel in and out there, and they kind of fell away. And it was tough to get the teams to go out there and visit Monterey. And, of course, now playing in another league with that franchise.
The Monterey-Baltimore games were classics.
Chili.
Just ridiculous.
Bonte.
10 minutes left to go in the fourth. 17-2 Blast. Leaving it for Vanzella. Up ahead from Mangione. Headed away by the Comets defense. Back to Waltman. So both teams now, as it appears that Game 3 is a foregone conclusion, both teams now looking ahead to getting players back. The red card suspensions will be lifted for both John Sosa, the very energetic playmaker for Missouri, and Adriano DeSantos. Adriano is like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
You know, he is just a tough player. Here's a nice rollout for Ferdinand. So both will be back. I'm assuming Lucas Roque will be okay to play. I don't know that for sure for the Blast. He suffered the knee injury just moments ago.
He is sitting down now on the back of the bench. He was standing up for a while there. Probably won't see him the rest of the game as it looks like, but it'll be interesting to see. And then, of course, you do have the roster decision to make with DeSantis, bringing DeSantos up. You do have to send somebody down.
Correct.
And then you have the option, of course, of Freddie Mugin.
Blasts one over the boards. It'll be a goalkeeper distribution for Waltman. 8:49 left to go in this one. Game 2, all Blast, 17-2. The player of the game right now has to be Neto with 3 goals, including a 3-pointer.
What does that say about your franchise depth when you have a guy like Freddie Mugin that can come off the bench as a guy that you're debating at the end of the whether or not you dress him or not.
He only played 7 games this year.
But the quality guy that's been there, has the experience, and then has done that and been there and done that. That's where I think you see that depth is the guy that doesn't get a lot of playing time, had to deal with some injury issues, and still can be that quality of player. Almost on cue, as we see John Sosa walk into the arena, fully dressed there, doing a little warm-ups over in the tunnels on the side there. Almost like he was queued up, ready to go as he sees the score here, and he realizes there's a chance he's going to be marking up in the third game here.
Under 8 minutes now. Yep, you see Sosa all the way in the corner there by the Baltimore Blast logo. He's starting to limber up.
Guessing somebody's going to make sure Dos Santos doesn't go down there and warm up next to him. Them and tunnels haven't mixed very well lately.
Gibson kicks it away. Back towards midfield. Toulouse beaten by Lookingland up ahead for Levy. Uses the boards nicely. Good footwork here. Finds a man. Donatelli has it broken up by Toulouse.
Again, great hustle by Missouri there as they get 3 guys back. They were shorthanded on the break, and then they're able to get back and pack the box there. Good job by Missouri. They played good defense for a team that's given up 17 points.
Gibson picked up by Lucio along with the Diesel. Harris shoots and scores. Good work in the corner by Missouri to keep that ball alive, and Harris 2-pointer makes it 17-4 and a timeout on the floor.
Well, let's take a second to thank some of our sponsors. Barbecue serves traditional American barbecue with a side of patriotism at all its Maryland and York, Pennsylvania locations. For more information, visit missionbarbecue.com. Passion Business Systems and Toshiba, your marketing solutions provider. The Holiday Inn Express Baltimore at the Stadiums is the Baltimore Blast sponsor hotel. Book your hotel room on game night by calling 410-727-1818 and ask for the Baltimore Blast Family and Friends rate. MedStar Sports Medicine is the official medical team of the Baltimore Blast. For an appointment with Team Dr. Richard Levine, call 888-44-SPORTS. That's MedStar Sports Medicine, 888-44-SPORTS. Blast fans, do you want custom Blast gear to dress like the pros? Go to www.sport55.com for all your Blast needs. That's www.sport55.com. Visit MISL on Facebook at facebook.com/Major Indoor Soccer League. Blast Soccer brought to you by MEQ. Does your bank give you cash back on your checking account? MEQ, Baltimore's credit union, does. Go to MECU.com to learn more. That's MECU.com. Peruca Law is Maryland's premier debt collection service and is a proud supporter of the Baltimore Blast. Care First Blue Cross and Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
Back to the action here with 6:57 remaining in regulation. A Brian Harris two-pointer at 8:03 makes the score 17-4 Blast. Harris with his 5th playoff goal, his 13th point. Blast now working hard in the corner.
Runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. Leo Gibson, that fell short to Mike Lookingland, who not only won Player of the Year defensively, but also league MVP. And Harris had a heck of a season. A guy, that put 5 3-point goals in, had a heck of a season, and definitely earned consideration into that discussion. But for my money, Mike Lookingland deserved it and got exactly what he deserved. There was a heck of a season by Mike Lookingland.
Neto leaves it up top for Daru, who blasts one over the boards. It'll be a goal kick-up coming for Waltman. 6:35 left in the 4th.
I also think when you look at MVP, you have to look at the team success. When you look at the number 1 seed, look at a team that won 17-3, and more importantly to me, you look at a defensive player that captained and led a team that set a record. I mean, there were literally half as many points allowed as the next closest team. Not as the worst team. There were 3 times as fewer goals than that team. But they were literally half of the amount of points allowed as the next closest team. 101 points in a season is an incredible record, and you can discount whether or not Pennsylvania played a role into that. Either way, they were still well below the league average. William Van Zandt setting a modern record for points against, and Mike Lookingland had a major role in that defense and a team commitment to that defense.
Lookingland heads it away towards midfield, turns on a shot from Braithwaite, and that one just high. Whistle and a foul on Missouri with 6:10 to go in the game. The one constant in the Blast in this entire championship run that began back in the 02-03 season has been the head coach, Danny Kelly. Here's a blue card now being shown.
Blow to the head, I guess.
Looks like it's against the Comets.
Yeah, it's
Braithwaite.
Braithwaite going to the bench there. They were motioning. So, it looked like the jump ball there, and Ferdinand got kind of shoved or pushed in the back of the head. The foul was called, and then they were marking off the foul, and then they decided that was a blue card.
With a win here in Game 2.
That's what it was. It was his 4th foul. There it was. The second time that's caught Missouri there is the 4th foul there for Missouri, and so the Blast get the second power play off that 4 foul accumulation.
Look at this, the return inside. Ferdinand scores from Donatelli. 19-4 on a power play.
Well, the Blast had waited till the end of the power play for their 2 previous power plays. This time they decided they were going to get it right out of the way. And Max Ferdinand waking up a little bit here. Beautiful give and go with Donatelli in the corner. Finishes in the back of the net, goes for our post. And if you're the Blast, you have to feel very, very comfortable right now as we look at the Metro PCS replay that goal right there is going to ensure that the Blast are going to Game 3, and we're going to have 15 minutes to decide the MISL champion.
Second goal tonight for Ferdinand, 4th of the postseason, 11 points. He's got 28 career postseason points. 11 goals, 6 assists. As the numbers keep piling up for Baltimore in this game, the Blast beat Missouri 14-6 and 18-4 in the regular season. They lose 15-8 Friday night, and then again tonight here winning 19-4 with 5.5 to play. And Gioni trying to find, he's got him, Lucio. Towards the goal and pinned to the boards by an unaware Danny Waltman.
See, that's the danger of having to run all the way there. You can't get set, you can't find your bearings, you can't get your marks there. Waltman was definitely clearly unsure about where his footing was. Lucky he didn't deflect that into the back of his own net.
Coming up on the 5-minute mark now in the fourth. And Missouri now. Game 3 a near certainty. Gibson! And that one will be a goalkeeper distribution, pardon me, for the Blast.
Baltimore, yeah. Do you go sixth attacker at any point with the lead at this far out? There's no point for Missouri to do that at this point, right?
I think this one's in the books.
Especially since Waltman's basically playing sixth attacker half the game.
Well, and the other thing is you don't have to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a through ball. Nice save by Van Zella right on the floor.
Max absolutely shoved off the ball there. No call. Arms fully extended there from Brandvo.
Toulouse over the boards. And a goalkeeper distribution upcoming for the Blast.
Yeah, Brathwaite just came in and just knocked him off. I mean, it looked like a defensive back taking a receiver off the route there, but no call there. And it is a 19-4 game.
So Van Zella has done it again here for the Blast. He comes in at 6-1 all-time in the postseason. Van Zella was 4-0 last year in the playoffs, and he went 2-1 against Syracuse. Van Zella, if you look at his numbers, 16-5 in the regular season last year, 12-3 this. So he's 28-8 and 6-1 in the playoffs. His career mark in the MISL in 2 years is 34-9. Healy up ahead for Zuniga off the boards in the box. And running onto it is DeRue, blocked by San Luis with 3:15 remaining in the game.
So you extrapolate that too. You took away, not that you took away, but Van Zella sat a couple of the games against Pennsylvania. You saw Hernandez put up a 3.3 goals against average in those games. So you think Van Zella would probably have lowered his goals against average had he played those games. He would have almost certainly won those games. So you see those numbers that could have been inflated even larger than they are playing against Pennsylvania.
Looking land volleys up ahead, 2:45 left in this one. Both teams now looking ahead to game 3. It'll be the mini game, 15 minutes.
So here on the broadcast, for those of us watching live on YouTube, we will take a brief break at the end of the game. We'll come back. We'll give you a recap of this. We'll set up game 3 and what we know about the roster changes. And then we'll stick with you the whole 15 minutes, no breaks all the way through until we crown a champion on the field here in Baltimore for the MISL.
Right, one way or the other, one of these teams will go away with the title here tonight.
Baltimore, the last 2 minutes, the goal is not to get anybody hurt, not to get anybody ejected. Missouri probably about the same, although they like to build a little bit of momentum, get a couple things to get some positive spin going.
Lucio is spilled by Gibson in the midfield, and he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it from Leo Gibson.
Lucio is a guy that doesn't like to get picked up. Don't put me on the ground if you want to respect me. And he's absolutely right there. He got taken down. It's a cheap play. Don't come back over afterwards and then hold your hand out. You shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Harris and Levy. So the Comets finished 14-6 on the regular season, 2-1 against Milwaukee to get here, 1-1 with the Blast. It'll come down to 15 minutes. Comets and Blast for the second straight year in the MISL Championship. Last year, the Blast won it here in Baltimore in Game 2 on a Lucas Roque bicycle kick. The goal heard round the Baltimore soccer world. 8-6 was the final after trailing 4-0 at the half in that game.
Daru spilled to the ground and then called for the handball after he was taken down. As he will, Missouri will get a restart from just inside the corner kick.
1:06 left in Game 2. Game 3 coming up right after this one. 15-minute break on YouTube. It'll be the Blast looking for their 7th championship in 12 years. Waltman with a drive, blocked by Lucio. Foul called on Waltman.
Absolutely. Waltman with a headbutt there as he absolutely just headbutted him down. I don't know how you can possibly argue with that. I don't think Waltman was intentionally trying to do it. I think he went to headbutt for the ball, but he clearly just headbutted him down. No, I agree. I think he was going for the ball there, but that's just it's a headbutt. So now what's going to happen here? Are they going to give a shootout here?
There's no penalty. At least I didn't see one.
No, they pulled the blue card. They gave him a blue card.
They did give him a blue card.
Yeah, they gave him a blue card.
So then it is a shootout.
Because even though it occurred all the way out there, because it's on the goalie, then it's an automatic shootout. That's one I haven't seen before. Look at that.
And look at Waltman right there with Looking Land.
And I think he's saying to him, and the way I saw it, I think he was trying to head the ball, and he went down, but he moved his head down and just knocked Lucy off his feet with his head. I mean,
officially it's 2 minutes for tripping.
Max is going to step up. You don't see this too. Max is going to take the penalty kick here.
Well, not a PK, it's a shootout.
Shootout, excuse me.
So all the players are lined up at midfield, as you see. Ferdinand is stopped by Waltman. Well played by the keeper. It is a power play. Oh, Vanzella right at the goal mouth, taking it away from Robert Palmer. 43 seconds left in this one. Blast will win this one going away here. 19-4 in Game 2. It's all going to come down to the final 15 minutes here tonight.
Lucia, he doesn't want to hold the ball. He says he's moving Mike up there. He doesn't want to hold. He wants to attack. He says there's 26 seconds left and we're on the power play. I want to see a goal.
Well, I don't think they're going to do anything with it here. Donatelli will hold it in the midfield. It'll all come down to the Game 3. Missouri and the Blast. Blast getting 3 goals from Adoto Neto in this game. A pair from Ferdinand. Other goals from Mangione, Diesel, Donatelli, Lucio. And so here we go. It's your final. 19-4, the Baltimore Blast.
We'll be back just after a 15-minute. We'll take about a 10-minute break. We'll come back. We'll recap Game 2. And then we'll get started with Game 3, elimination. Somebody's walking off that field after 15 minutes with the championship.
Ellis is back in their lineup. Yeah. 19.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you figure when you saw that, look, Roquet and clutches.
All right, here we go. Game 3 will decide the MISL championship here at the Baltimore Arena. Gary Stein and Andrew Primrose, your Blast broadcasters. The Comets are out on the floor. The Blast are making their way as well.
3 developments that we saw as we went to halftime, or went to this intermission period. Roquet coming back onto the field on crutches, shoes off. His night is over. We saw Sosa come back on. We had seen him earlier in uniform, but he's officially out on the team or on the field warming up, so he'll come back in. And then in some form, in some nature, there was a dispute or discussion between the teams in the tunnels as they were running off the field. Don't sure if there's any repercussions for that. Security did have to go over. Several police officers went over. There were team officials and league officials that went over there. Some form of dispute. The fans gathered around it there. Did not look to be serious, but there was some form of discussion, let's say, as the Blast run back onto the field here for this 15-minute winner-take-all game.
And development number 4, Adriano DeSantos, just makes his way onto the floor for the Blast. He crosses himself and kisses the turf, and he's ready to go now in Game 3. So for a quick minute, Andrew, let's go back to Game 2. We'll give you the highlights of the Blast 19-4 victory over Missouri that forced the Game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. As we pull up these highlights here, we'll see in just a second, we'll see the goals. And the Blast got off to a quick start here as Marco Mangione, a minute 30. We're going to start, the second half. I'm not sure. I guess that was Missouri's goal. That was Gibson.
Here we go.
Power play goal. Here we go. We're starting here. You threw me off there as we see Mangione with the goal 130 in. Having some issues here. This will be the turnover here. As we'll run all the way back here. And this is Neto. Sneaks in there and slides in. They called the penalty on this, and they came all the way back. And then this was the restart here. As we saw that, Neto tried to slide it in there, but it's a tough play there. We see the goal. That's Lucio's goal there. That came in the first goal of the second half there. As we see, we're taking a avant-garde tour through the replays. We rank them.
Is that what we're doing?
I'm trying. We get some turn here. All right, here we see this one. Remember this one. This is when Neto forced the turnover, and this is Neto. This was his hat trick goal, and so he sees there. He spins around there, and Neto. He picks that up there. He also did have a head ball goal as it comes across. You see that? This was the beautiful goal, though. That was the goal of the game right there. Gibson on the bicycle kick. That was just a beautiful goal. You don't have to be a Comets fan to appreciate beautiful soccer like that. That was a heck of a goal. Either way, all the highlights combined there. We ended up 19-4. The Blast have the win. None of it matters right now. None of it matters. Game 1 doesn't matter. The regular season doesn't matter. None of it matters. The only thing that this comes down to is 15 minutes, 5-on-5 soccer for the MISL champion. Once again, to reiterate, if it is tied at the end, then we do go to golden goal, but this game is not golden goal. This game is a full 15-minute game that all the regular rules of regular season and playoff soccer are in place, and the winner wins the championship. No winner at the end of regulation. We go into golden goal.
Vanzella will be in goal for the Blast. He wins Game 2, 19-4. Vanzella now in his career runs it to 7-1 in the postseason. The lone loss was 9-6 against Syracuse here at the arena. And now in his career against Missouri, 8-1, including playoffs. Danny Waltman takes the loss. His career now, Mark, against the Blast is 3-13, including playoffs.
We talked about the guys coming back off suspensions, both Dos Santos and Sosa on the field. The Blast, it looks like the same roster, except that you see Roquet down and Dos Santos up. We're not sure exactly who got sat down for Missouri, as it looks like they are still dressing both goalkeepers. The Blast, of course, do have both goalkeepers with Vanzella's injury. They were not going to take the risk with Vanzella already injured going in. So we'll try and work here to see who Missouri is set for the second game, or if they just went one man down on the roster and then were able to fill the roster for Game 2, or Game 3 rather.
Perez, Gibson, and Rodriguez up front for Missouri. Asadpour and Harris in the back. Waltman in goal. For the Blast, it is Donatelli, Neto, Ferdinand, Lookingland, and Noon in the back. Waltman in goal. Kickoff goes to Missouri, and a free kick Missouri as Rodriguez spilled by Donatelli. Just 7 seconds into it here.
So 19-4 means nothing right now. This game is going to be decided in fast start so important in this game. Fouls and power plays and penalties are going to be the story of this half. You can avoid those and just play good soccer. You're going to have an opportunity. You start fouling, you start getting penalties, you're going to be in a lot of trouble in a 15-minute game.
Neto from Looking Land. Nice play by Mike in the corner. Here's Donatelli up ahead for Neto. Good ball back to Donatelli in the corner. Bounces one off the boards. Again, every pass, every play, every step in this 15-minute game is critical. And here's a takeaway by the Comets with 14:25 left in regulation. We're tied at 1 in the series. That one wide. Rebound outside poor. Fans on a shot from Ramon Palmer. They do hold it in, though, with Gibson in the midfield.
Trace the season all the way back to October. 20 regular season games, 5 playoff games to get to this point, and every second matters as we're already 1/15 of the way through this game.
Palmer in front of DeSantos, his first shift tonight. Back to Sosa making his first appearance in this game. Waltman under some duress. They're having trouble moving it past midfield. Good defense here. Finally, they do clear it up ahead for Gibson. A little too tall. Benzella out to the corner of the box and makes the play.
Saw Dos Santos get a shift in there, and hopefully his energy and the ability of fresh legs to come in there. You saw with Levi Wapu in the previous series, the Syracuse series, where a guy came in with fresh legs, able to bring a little energy, create mismatches, create turnovers, create pressure because of those fresh legs.
A block by Healy on a drive from Sosa.
And of course, Sosa, the exact same thing on the other direction.
Noon heads it away from the corner. Coming up on 13 minutes left in Game 3. Waltman at the yellow line for the Comets. Nice ball up ahead. Shot just high, and a good try there by Ivanovic.
Well, it's only 2 minutes in, but already you're starting to see this game look more like Game 1 than it did Game 2, in that Missouri seems to be possessing the ball. Blast chasing around a little bit there. The other thing that you got to worry about in here is the crowd is going to be a big element. If the Blast can score first and get that crowd fired up, it's going to have an impact on Missouri. If Missouri scores first and is able to quiet the crowd a little bit, which the crowd is a little flat right now, all that stuff plays into.
Harris in the box, intended for Ivanovic. Good idea. Foul coming up on the Comets. This was on Rodriguez.
Was very close to being able to call. Typically after a foul, if the player kicks the ball out of bounds after the foul there, you could have called it. It looked like Rodriguez was a continuation of the play as he sent that ball out of bounds there. But a worse refereeing crew could have called that for a delay of game. Actually, got to give credit to the referees so far for Game 1. They did a reasonably good job of keeping control. Two teams that struggled coming in. You see two referees come in tonight, and the story of this game has not been about the officiating. That's always a great thing to see.
Coming up on the 12-minute mark here in Game 3. This will decide the MISL championship. On the floor right now, Looking Land in the Diesel. Lucio Donatelli and DeSantos for the Blast, trying to beat San Luis to the corner. Held in by DeSantos and won by DeSantos. Towards the goal! Oh, great save by Waltman.
Unbelievable save by Danny Waltman. There's extension, and there's full extension, and there's whatever that was. He was stretched out, was so wide, it was unbelievable. He got across the entire mouth of the goal to make that save. What a play by Danny Waltman. This game could and probably should be 2-0.
That right now will stand as the save of the year for the Comets.
They win the championship. They circle back to that. There's no doubt about it. That was an absolutely beautiful save all the way across the mouth of the goal. Full extension, fingertips just pushing the ball out.
Ball squirts out towards Healy in the midfield. We've about 4 minutes into Game 3.
You always hear the catchphrase, the tension is palpable. You can cut the tension. You can feel in this arena this nervousness, this sense of unease here with Baltimore. And that's gonna either explode at the Blast score, or if the Blast are wow, did you hear the explosion?
That a foul on Ferdinand?
Well, it looks like Harris holding, it's on Levy. And it looks like Harris might have gotten something in the face there. We couldn't see it. It is the far side of the arena from where we were standing there. And it looks like Harris is holding an eye or a nose or forehead in that area, so maybe a forearm flung up there. No blood as it looks. This is a great angle, guys. Right up on there. Look and see. And, let's take a minute and thank, while we have a break here, let's thank the guys that are giving this fantastic angle. We want to thank Josh Edwards, Chad Edwards, Kevin Smith, Antron, and Tim, our camera crew. Fantastic guys. And, of course, the guys in the organization, Kevin Healy, Mike Conway, Jason Carrick, Katie Merrick, Robin Eichenberger, Paul Mittermeier, and, of course, our producer, Mark Stein. Thank you guys for everything you do.
Kicked away by Levy inside the box. But again, here comes Missouri as they've had the better of the play here. Picked off by Mangione, trying to find Waltman at a goal. That one is wide. Danny makes the play outside the box. Can't use his hands, obviously. Turnover by 10 minutes. Just steal. 2-on-1. Oh, the pass from Mangione could have been a little better here, and Diesel will lose it.
Great chance for the Blast, and now you see Missouri coming back. Don't have the numbers, but have the break.
Oh, look at Neto just stepping right in, taking that away. The play is wide open. Here's Donatelli with a runner. It's Lucio up ahead. Donatelli tries to keep it alive, and now a handball is called in the midfield, giving the chance to a Blast with 9:52 left in Game 3. No score. Here's Looking Land.
Of course, Missouri won their third game 6-2. The Blast won their game 6-4.
San Luis takes it away from Lucio. Every possession is so critical in this game. 9:30 left to play. DeSantos will cut over and steal. Trying to move past Braithwaite. Volleyed back by Donatelli. And the Blast will maintain at their own yellow line.
Nervousness in the building is also up here in the booth, I tell you. 9 minutes left. I can feel it in my heart. This is a lot of tension. There's a lot riding on that first break there.
8:52 now left. Here's Neto for the Blast. Had 3 goals in Game 2. He gives it up. Here's Gibson off to the races. He's got a runner. Vanzella's got to cut it off, and Vanzella forces him over the goal. And let's see, it is a goal kick for the Blast.
Wow.
What a play by William Vanzella. Wow. And that will stand as the play of the year for the Blast.
Wow. Wow.
That's all you got is wow?
Yeah, there's no analysis to that one. It's just an absolutely...
Just let it be.
Wow. That let the play speak for itself.
Here's Asadpour now for the Comets. Blast will pressure with 2 inside the yellow line, forcing a turnover. Sent back. Look at this, slippage. Levy working hard with San Luis. Ball is still loose. Mangione keeps it alive. Trying to find Healy inside the box. That one taken away by Harris. And a trip in midfield called on Lucio. Waltman wants the blue card shown. It won't happen here. With 8:06 to go, play is still on. Clock's running here. Talou. Noon trying to make a play on a ball. Noon will pressure the keeper, Waltman, just slips right around him. Here's the cross up ahead. Talou working on Mangione. Great work by Marco to get back.
Great job by Marco Mangione. Yeah, Marchione to trap that ball against the glass with his chest.
That's a good combination you put together.
Yeah.
Stepping inside Lucio, nice turn at midfield. Pardon me. Here we go now to the corner with 7:25 left in this one. And again, to your point, a lot of time left, but to your point, if this game does end in a tie, then it will be golden goal in the next period. Such closely contested shots, everything here. Gibson score! Oh! I was going to say, I had it in my mouth. Sent back in. Vanzella right in front of Gibson. Both teams with great chances in this game.
Pat Healy, I'm not sure how he made that save there with his chest only.
Well, Fernandez trying to move by his man. That's Ivanovic. Nice ball into the corner quickly for Neto. Going to fend off his defender. Neto working towards the goal. Pulled down. Now caught rebound. What a save by Watman! Unbelievable. Off the run! The Blast score at the goal line. On a rebound. Taking a 2-0 lead with 6.5 to play.
That is the definition of crashing the net right there. As you absolutely saw the Blast go hell-bent for net right there as they come in. Max Ferdinand waking up, the guy they needed to wake up there. He comes in there, crashes the net, puts the ball back in. That ball went across the goal mouth 3 times, 3 scoring opportunities for the Blast, and Max Ferdinand finishes it, and the Blast are up 2-0.
Time to go 8:28 of Game 3.
So for the Blast, nowhere near a championship clinching goal right there. As you see this down, Neto pulled down.
That's one.
Fantastic
That's
save.
2.
Ball crosses. And then here's the third across.
There you go.
And Waltman was in good position there. Ferdinand did a good job of passing that across his body rather than just putting that in. Waltman would have needed that stop. As we'll see it one more time as it comes back and through. He got absolutely pulled down, Neto there. 3-point Blast. Max almost dumped there. And then position, and look, right there into the corner of the net. And as we come back live from the Chesapeake Employers Insurance replay, 6 minutes left in the game, 2-0. This is not over by a long stretch. The Blast have to keep the pressure going. I'm going to go ahead and venture that 2 points is not going to win this thing.
Look at that one through the box. Mangione, by the way, gets the assist on the Ferdinand goal. So Ferdinand had 2 in Game 2. He's got another one here in Game 3. Max now in the postseason for the Blast has 13 points.
He was the guy that had to wake up, and he did.
Oh, look at this, a tremendous bicycle kick by Rodriguez, and the Comets have tied it up at 2.
So the Comets have scored 6 points tonight. 4 of them have come off. Well, it was a fight there, and as Perez gets into it with Vanzella in the corner of the net there, and some shoving in the back of the net there. The officials come over, not sure how that's allowed as it goes through there. But the greater point, 6 points scored tonight, 4 of them off bicycle kicks. 4 of them off absolutely beautiful bicycle kicks. And we said it, 2 points is not going to win this game. And here it is, it's 2-2.
Stefan San Luis gets the assist on the goal over Vanzella on the near post top shelf over the keeper's right shoulder.
Not much a goalkeeper can do in that situation.
2-2 is the score, and they come back and score within 56 seconds of the Blast goal. Held in by Healy. Tolu takes a seat. Here's Ferdinand now. Mangione double teamed at the boards. Foul called on the Comets with 5:10 left to play.
At that point, there were 3 Blast players laying on the ground. The foul called, as it'll be moved out to just outside the yellow line.
Tied at 2, back to Vanzella.
Blast will cycle through a change.
Free kick coming up for the Blast. Kick in with 5:03 left to play.
Blast trying to catch on the switch here. Mike Lookingland trying to get the ball in early. There, Missouri was shorthanded, but good job there to step in front and hold the kick there.
Noon, who had an assist in Game 2, had a hat trick in Game 1. They're going to chase here. Lookingland under some duress. Forces a turnover in the midfield. Well played by the Comets. Put some pressure on. Here's a ball picked off, intended for Gibson, picked off by Lucio. Cuts it over to Neto. Trying to step in. Double team on Gibson. That one taken away. Now taken back for a moment by Lookingland.
There's your
that
league
one forced
MVP.
over the boards by Missouri, so a nice play by Lookingland.
2 great plays by Lookingland there. He crossed there and took 2 possessions away from Missouri and didn't allow the breakaway there. That's so tough when you're in no man's land there and you're stretched in the middle of the field. And that offensive player can go either direction to not only stop the ball, to make contact with the ball and get the deflection on there, but also to do it without creating a foul. When the player's running right at you, it's a very tough play to make. Not many players do it better than Mike Lookingland.
Kick in by Lookingland, broken up by the Comets inside their yellow line. San Luis with a head ball up ahead. Noon, DeSantos playing in Game 3, missed Game 2. Backtracking Ferdinand, Harris in pursuit. 4:10 left to go in the Game 3. Healy towards midfield. Asad Poor drawing a beat on that in front of Mangione. Takes it away from Missouri. Back to the keeper, Waltman, now with less than 4 minutes to go in a 2-2 tie. Game 3 could be the decider. Well, it will be, one way or the other.
Could be.
Will be.
Will be. Here's the crowd waking up a little bit. Baltimore Arena here. Hoping to see 2 championships in 2 years here in Baltimore.
Mangione trying to run it down. Asadpour gets there first. 3:30 left to play.
Of course, that comes after what has become a drought in Baltimore, a 4-year stretch where the Blast didn't win, winning one last year against Missouri, and the chance to do it again here tonight if they can score one more goal and keep Missouri from scoring.
Oh, kicked off the back line by Noon. Great move by Gibson, by the way. 2-on-2. Here's Healy. Healy keeps it. Healy cuts it over to Ferdinand. Broken up by the Comets. Rodriguez right there. Ferdinand will control with 3 minutes left to play. Dangerous pass. Back to Neto with Gibson lurking around, but Adalto Neto picks it up. Here's a nice give and go. Back to Neto. He's got a chance. He scores! Neto scores! Getting the Blast a 4-2 lead with 2:43 left to go.
And there is where great players stay great. And Neto, a fantastic player, league MVP, and he says, I know I'm a step slower, I know I'm a little bit older, I'm still a dominant player in this league when I turn it on. 3 goals in game 2 to get this year, and then now a goal to put the Blast ahead with 2 minutes and 43 seconds, all individual effort on that give and go, buries it in the back of the net, and the Blast are 2 minutes and 43 seconds away from a championship.
Just great ball control by Neto. Found his right foot. He was able to find his right foot. Watch it here on the give and go. Able to find the right foot and puts it into the back of the net. Far post, 4-2. Let's see what the Comets have in the final 2:40 plus in this game. Neto had 3 goals in game 2. Another one here in game 3. He's got 9 points on the night. And the assist went to Donatelli. Here's Waltman past midfield. 2:35 left to go in regulation.
So, yeah, we talked about it all series coming into tonight. The best defense in the league, the best offense in the league. 2 minutes. Can the Blast stop the best offense in the league and win their 8th championship, 7th in the modern era?
Well, Missouri's going to push it. As you know, Asadpour outside the 3-point line. They cut it in on the near side for Harris. St. Louis will come from the corner. 2:15 left to go in regulation. St. Louis and a foul called on the Blast. Deep inside their own territory with 2:10 to go in the game.
And we're going to see a timeout from Missouri right away. They're not even going to fake the line up here.
So we'll keep it here at 4-2. And let's recap for you in case you're just joining us. Blast win game 2 handily, 19-4. Neto with 3 goals, 7 points. Vanzella was heroic in the net. Game 3, what a battle. Ferdinand at 8:28 made it 2-0 Blast on a feed from Mangione. And then just 56 seconds later, Rodriguez on an acrobatic bicycle kick from the right slot from St. Louis tied it at 2. And then just moments ago at the 12:17 mark, Neto on a dish from Donatelli was able to handle it inside the box, found his right foot, found the back of the net, giving the Blast a 4-2 lead.
We see there's we go back to some first game highlights, or game 3 highlights there, as our first game 2 highlights there. We take a look here. There's I'm not sure what we're seeing there. It was bouncing all over the place. But here's what we have right now on the field. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in a 2-point game, and Missouri has a very dangerous scoring opportunity here. They have the timeout. They're going to come out of the timeout. You figure Waltman's going to be pushed down at least well past the yellow line there. So for Missouri, it'll be a 6th attacker situation. The whistle has been blown for in play. Missouri is still in the huddle. And Missouri is not even going to go with Waltman. They're going to go automatically to the 6th attacker as Asadpour will come right in on the 6th attacker.
Wow, very interesting strategy here. So they take Waltman out of the game at the 2:10 mark. So 12:50 into the game, Waltman is out.
You got to figure out
6th attacker. And remember, they're a 3-point shooting team.
Right. Absolutely.
Sosa on the ball in the box. Outside pull for 3. It's still in play. Gibson. And another 3. Vanzella on the near post.
Harris screened perfectly there. I have no idea how William Vanzella found that ball.
But here's a chance now for the Blast. DeSantos working hard to keep it alive. Remember, Asadpour is in goal. It goes through the box. 1:45 left in regulation.
The Blast only had 2 up in the offensive half of the field there.
Here comes Gibson beating the field down. Gibson inside the box. Gibson shoots and blocked. A corner kick upcoming. Donatelli with the block for the Blast with 1:36 to play in regulation.
It's going to come. They're going to give corner kick here, not at the top. It's interesting as it'll come over to the corner.
And again, Asadpour is only one of many three-point threats that the Comets have.
So the ball's marked. They don't.
Sosa delivers back. They score on a tip-in from San Luis. A two-pointer at the 13:26 mark of regulation. Stefan San Luis from Sosa.
Well,
what a game.
We'll see on the restart here. The ball trickles through. Ball comes across and just tipped in. St. Louis, that's a beautiful redirect. To get your leg all the way around there and get intention on that shot there. That's a fantastic restart. It's a beautiful play. Rodriguez picked up the assist there. That's a beautiful play. So a minute and 33 seconds left.
We're tied at 4. Waltman back in the game for Missouri. So sixth attacker pays off for the Comets. 1:24 left. The Comets have not led all night. They've not led in game 2. They've not led in game 3.
We've said it before. Every third game in this series, every mini game in this postseason has been won by 6 points. So it looks like this one will be as well, unless both teams score, and it's a 8-6 game.
Gibson wrestled down by Lookingland. Harris up ahead for Gibson, picked up by Lookingland. Here's the back heel. They score! The Comets have scored! Harris with 54 seconds to play has given Missouri a 6-4 lead on a feed from Gibson. And this crowd is stunned.
Come back to the restart on the foul given on the boards there. Missouri capitalizes on that restart, scores, and then comes back down in a couple seconds and puts another one in the back of the net. And it's 6-4 now. So the Blast have the opportunity to come back and tie with the sixth attacker, Mike Lookingland, stepping on. They'll have 54 seconds to do it. Or Missouri is 54 seconds away from the third championship in their history.
So 6-4 is the score. Andrew's going to go down to the field for the interview opportunity after the game. There you see Danny Kelly and his Blast team, and all of a sudden things have just completely changed here in Baltimore. The Blast easily over Missouri, 19-4 in game 2. They had leads of 2-0 and 4-2 in this one, but all of a sudden in the last 40 seconds, San Luis from Rodriguez off a restart, and then Harris from Gibson on a little back heel. Harris with the left scoring, San Luis on a redirect, and Missouri has its first lead of the night here in Baltimore. 54.1 seconds left to play. Lookingland has put on the sixth attacker jersey. Vanzella's night over for now. Here come the Blast now on the extra man opportunity. Lookingland for Donatelli off the boards in the box. The ball is free, will come out to Lookingland in the corner. 38 seconds left to go. Lucio now in the midfield circle over to Lookingland. 35 seconds to go. Pass will go through all the way down to Healy in the corner, and he's fouled by the Comets with 30.2 seconds left to play. The foul is on Sosa. Free kick for the Blast. It'll be Neto on the ball, the best distributor on the team. And the Blast now will call a timeout with 30.2 left to play. What a game 3 this is here tonight. They've all been great. Remember Milwaukee losing last year in a game 3 to Missouri on a goal by Byron Alvarez with 4 seconds left to go. A great cross from Sosa. The game 3 in Baltimore when The Blast beat Syracuse just last weekend, or during the week, I should say, on Tuesday. That was a great game, with Syracuse had a chance with 4 seconds left to go in that one. And then, of course, Missouri beating Milwaukee in their game 3 of the semifinal, 6-2 on a couple of goals from Brian Harris. And now Brian Harris here again tonight has the potential game winner lined up with 30 seconds left to go. It'll be Blast ball in the corner. What a night of soccer here at the arena. Crowd expecting the Blast to go home with a championship, but right now the Comets in line to do it as well. Waltman lining up his team. They go with a 2-man wall up against the wall. See how the Blast run their options here. Up top for Looking Land, that one too high. It'll be a goal kick upcoming for Waltman with 28.2 to play. So the Comets have the lead and the ball with less than a half a minute to go. Waltman delivers up ahead for San Luis. Won by Looking Land, but headed back by Asadpour. Donatelli trying to win a ball. 15 seconds to go. San Luis, Looking Land, that's going to cost the Blast. Looking Land now with 10 seconds to go. We'll try to send it up ahead. Asadpour, 6 seconds to go. The Comets are going to win it. The Comets are going to win the MISL championship in Baltimore. The Missouri Comets come back with a goal with 54 seconds left to play, and they beat the Blast in Baltimore for their 3rd ever championship, 6-4. The Comets have upset the Blast. And look at the Missouri Comets at midfield celebrating their victory here tonight. Hard-earned by the Comets, who came in as the number 3 seed in the MISL. They beat the Wave 2-1 in the semifinals, and they beat the Blast 2-1 in the finals. And so the Blast are denied their 7th championship in 12 years. They were going for back-to-back titles. But you got to give credit where credit is due, and that is to the Missouri Comets. Goals in Game 3 by Rodriguez, San Luis, and Harris. Harris, the game winner, with 54 seconds to play. The Blast go to the 6th attacker after that, but to no avail. And the Comets have won the game. Missouri is the 2014 MISL champion. Congratulations to Vlatko Andonovski, the ownership in Missouri. Long tradition, long history of soccer in Kansas City. Of course, the team now located in Independence, Missouri. They play at the Event Center. And just a well-played Game 3. The Blast were missing Lucas Roque in Game 3. The Comets withstood a tremendous Game 2 by the Blast, winning it 19-4. But the Comets come back and win it 6-4 in Game 3. Still a great season for the Blast, 17-3 in the regular season. 2-1 they beat Syracuse, 2-1 they lose here to the Missouri Comets. Let's go down to the field now. Gary St. Hours at tonight's award celebration.
And to introduce to you the Senior Director of the MISL, Mr. Chris Economides.
Thank you. On behalf of the USL and the Major Indoor Soccer League, I want to commend both teams, the Baltimore Blast, the consummate first-class organization, Ed Hale, Kevin Healy, head coach Danny Kelly, tremendous run in the playoffs. They were true champions throughout the entire season, and quite honestly, we wouldn't have indoor soccer if it wasn't for Ed Hale. So, a great playoff series. Congrats to the Baltimore Blast. It was a great playoff series, all 2 rounds this year. Syracuse giving the Blast all they can handle. The Milwaukee Wave and the Comets, just great indoor soccer. So congratulations to the entire teams. Congratulations to the Missouri Comets, to Brad Likens, Brian Budzinski, great organization there also. And we'd like to present the trophies and the medals right now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for both of these teams here tonight? Your Baltimore Blast and the MISL champion Missouri Comets. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite members of your Baltimore Blast to come to the midfield area and accept your runner-up medals. Ladies and gentlemen, your Baltimore Blast! Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give it up for your Baltimore Blast! And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce tonight's MVP for the Championship Series final. And our MVP for this series is from the Missouri Comets, number 25, Brian Harris. Brian Harris, your Championship Series final MVP. Congratulations, Brian. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to award the Missouri Comets their championship medals. Ladies and gentlemen, the Missouri Comets, your MISL champions. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give it up for the Missouri Comets.
Thank you. And now to present the championship trophy, could I please have head coach Vlatko Andonovski and captain Vahid Asadpour to accept the trophy, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the MISL champions, Missouri Comets. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give it up for your MISL champion, Missouri Comets. Fans, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for your support of Baltimore Blast Soccer. Don't forget, it all gets underway in a few more months as the 2014-2015 season gets underway. We hope to see each and every one of you down here. Once again, the final score of tonight's minigame, the Missouri Comets 6, your Baltimore Blast 4. The Missouri Comets win the MISL Championship Series 2-1.
We're down here on the field with the MVP of the championship series. Ryan, talk a little bit about what you saw in Game 3 and why you guys felt like you could win here.
Hey, first of all, I want to thank God for this opportunity. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Game 3, we fought all the way to get here. We clawed. A lot of heart as a team. The team behind me, I can't thank those guys enough. Amazing team. Give it up to Baltimore. Give it up to Baltimore. They took it to us. They took it to us in Game 2. They're an amazing team. Vlaco came in with a speech. We stuck to the game plan, and here we are.
All right, well, congratulations on that. What do you want to say to your fans back in Kansas City and in Missouri? What do you want to say to them right now?
Got the best fans in KC. I can hear you through the YouTube broadcast. We love you guys back home. Thanks for all the support all year. You guys are truly amazing.
Congratulations, and congratulations to your whole team. We'll see you next year.